Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Bat Around. Our final show before opening day is upon us on Thursday. And Zach, the weather's looking pretty damn good for Thursday. Looking like it's going to be in the high 60s, low 70s for opening day. Maybe a little cloudy, but I don't care. If it's not cold, I'm good to go. Feels like the baseball gods always smile upon us on the opening day. The weather just seems to get better and better as the forecast, as the week goes by. You get there, and all of a sudden, like last year,
Rains.
sunny and 82 degrees, right?
Yep.
Just looking like it's going to be a beautiful day for Orioles baseball. Today was certainly a beautiful day for Orioles baseball. The Orioles welcomed the Nationals to the newly revamped Oriole Park at Camden Yards, and it was a rude welcome. The Orioles crushing the Nationals 8-1. Gunnar Henderson, Colton Cowser each homered and drew bases loaded walks to drive in two apiece. Bradish 5 in the third shutout innings, and Ryan Helsley 3 Ks in a scoreless ninth, also 2 walks. I don't know if there's any concerns that need to be had there, but 2 walks in perhaps his final tune-up before opening day. But before we get to all that, I want to remind everybody, we do pay bills here. We pay them by telling you that today's show is brought to you by helpmygamblingproblem.org. If you or a loved one has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit helpmygamblingproblem.org for free confidential services. Show is also brought to you by Wartkin Law. When you need results in Baltimore, you don't play small ball. If you've been hurt in a crash, call 443-RESULTS or visit wartkinlaw.com. That's 443 results. All right. You know something, Sean Whipple? Hang on 1 second. All right.
You know, it was kind of funny that little. I know you're not listening right now, but the Orkin Law thing. You should work for them and say Orkin Law. Call Paul.
This hat's dirty as hell. It's the only Orioles hat that I have in my office right now. I'll turn it around.
That one looks like you played about 1,700 games of men's league with that on.
Oh my gosh, I have had this hat. I think I've had this hat since I was, oh my gosh, probably.
I think we just lost you. It's inevitable. We can't get around it. It's still not working. Anyway, Paul will get this fixed eventually. But if you're Orkin Law, call Paul.
If you're walking low, Paul, I don't know how to fix it. It just does it on its own. I have to unplug it from the hub. Maybe I just try plugging it straight into my laptop. Maybe that'll work.
Yeah.
Well, so here's the deal. It was my stepdad's 70th birthday today. We threw a surprise party for him at a local restaurant, the restaurant I work at, Baco, and we got home. I had time just to get down here and get prepped for the show. And this was the only hat that I had on my in my kitchen, so I just grabbed it and put it, the Ravens hat, grabbed it and put it on Sean. But I have this one. I haven't worn this hat in a few months, probably several months. I only wear it to the gym at this point. Good evening, Laura. Great to have you in with us today. Same to you, Orioles fan. You said, "What's up, Zach and Paul?" But yeah, enough about the hat. Orioles get business done today at Oriole Park at Camden Yards. Spring training, one more game. And the spring training's over, but they have one more exhibition game. They go down to D.C. to play the Nats in their ballpark tomorrow. Yes, as Laura said, like and subscribe and become a member. Please do that. The more views, the better. The more followers, the better. That's for damn sure. What did you see from spring? I know that we lost Westberg and Holiday at the beginning of spring training.
Yep.
Aside from that, it was a pretty uneventful spring. Pretty quiet, which I think is good.
Very recently.
Yeah. I think that's probably pretty good. But the thing is that the losses that this team has taken, they have the depth to combat it that they didn't have last year. You lose Holiday, you bring in Blaze Alexander. You lose Westberg, and Kobe Mayo goes absolutely nuts this spring. Beavers comes up with knee soreness over the weekend. Tyler O'Neill's been tearing the cover off the ball this spring. The only one really that you're not sure what you're going to do about, we'll get into it a little bit later, Keegan Aiken suffered a hip adductor injury while warming up on Saturday. Not sure. He's got imaging, I believe, tomorrow in Baltimore.
Today.
It was
him and
today.
Kirstad both.
Yeah. Kirstad had the hamstring injury, but he didn't factor into the Orioles' plans anyway.
Yeah.
So with regards to those injuries, What are your I mean, we knew they would come at some point. It solves
Yeah,
some questions for the interim. Like Tyler O'Neill's going to play every day in right field now
yeah.
until Beavers is healthy, and Beavers may be ready for opening day. But just your thoughts on the injuries and the depth that the Orioles have to combat them.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, you can't escape the injuries at this point, and we actually finally have a little bit of depth. Last year we didn't have any, so losing, like you said, losing Beavers, you still have O'Neill now. Last year you lost O'Neill and kind of had to use Jeremiah Jackson, which we didn't even talk about. He homered today as well. He's a good player, so they finally have a little bit left to kind of weather the storm a little bit, as long as they're not too long. Like, you don't want a guy like Beavers to miss a month, right? He's had a pretty decent spring. He's been playing a little bit of center field, playing right field. He's been putting some pretty decent bats together. Like, you don't want him to miss too much time. So hopefully, if he does miss time, maybe it's like 2 or 3 days or something like that. Kind of just give him a little bit of rest. Maybe we'll see him Monday in the Texas series or something like that. Keegan Aiken's a different story. Like, I'll go on record. Like, Keegan's fine, but you would want to upgrade that for your high leverage lefty, in my opinion. So, I mean, and a lot of people are high on Wolfram, which is fine. I think Wolfram's got some really good stuff. I know a lot of other teams around the league like Wolfram, but he hasn't proved it yet. And to have to start with him in the season as being that high leverage lefty, I would probably say they probably still don't do that. They probably, if Enns makes the team, which he probably will now, he's going to be your high leverage guy just because he did it a little bit more last year than Wolfram did. But long term, I think Wolfram probably has the better thing. But just losing a guy like Aiken, even though like he's an upgradable piece, like he's still a veteran, because outside of Helsley, there's not too many veterans in that bullpen, because Kittredge is already down. So it was pretty much just Aiken and Cano at that point. So you lose another veteran in the bullpen, which is already kind of a little shaky. So we think it might turn out to be a pretty good bullpen, but that's my only like question mark right now is, did they do enough in the bullpen? And we're going to find out pretty quick, I think.
Yeah, and I think that's everybody's biggest concern, because you look at this rotation, and we're going to get to Dean Kremer here. We're not trying to bury the lead with Dean Kremer, but we'll get to that here shortly. But you look at this rotation, and everybody that's part of their current 5-man rotation showed out this spring. There wasn't one pitcher where you were like, oh man, he doesn't look good. Is he going to be ready? Bassett looked great. Bradish looked great. Rogers looked great. Eflin looked unhittable. Like these guys all looked really, really good this spring.
We know Zach Eflin's good though. Like, last year was an outlier, obviously, but like throughout his career, he's always been I would say an above average starting pitcher. Like, so you were getting something good out of him if he was healthy. That he's just got to take what he's doing right now and keep it moving.
Right.
Like, if he pitches to a 3 as your number 5,
it's gonna be a great season.
Great season.
Yeah, and that's the thing is, I got into it with some people on X a little bit yesterday when I was justifying sending Dean Kremer down. Since we're going to talk about Eflin, let's just talk about it right now. Dean Kremer, if you're just tuning in, Kremer yesterday was optioned to Norfolk after leading the Orioles staff in starts and in innings pitched last year, pitching to a 4.12 ERA. Dean Kremer optioned to Norfolk, and I don't think that was on any of our bingo cards, right?
No.
But then when you really think about it, the Orioles have 3 off days the first 2 weeks of the season. They have 5 off days the first month. They're not going to need a 5th starter, really, let alone a 6th. Now it gives you an 8-man bullpen. Dean Kremer gets to stay on a starter schedule going down to Norfolk. He'll probably be Norfolk's opening day starter. He'll go down there, get his work in. Dean, and they aren't going to say this as a reason, but there's probably a little something to it. Dean always struggles in April. He always struggles, so let him go work those kinks out down there in Norfolk. I remember back in 2022, he was warming up on opening day in the bullpen. He got injured, went down. He didn't debut for the Orioles till June 5th, and he pitched to a 3.23 ERA that season. That was his best year as far as an ERA is concerned. Let him work out the kinks, get himself into season form, pitching in Norfolk for that first month or so. Now, the only question in my mind is, when does he come up? Not if he comes up. And do the Orioles eventually move to that 6-man rotation, especially if everybody's pitching well? And the whole reason behind this, we all thought they might slow play Zach Eflin. It doesn't count as spring stats because the game got canceled, but Eflin went out there against the Yankees a week ago in a rainout and threw 2 innings, gave up 1 hit, struck out 3. He went out there the other day against him, threw 5 1/3, struck out 7, and allowed 1 hit and no walks. He went 9 1/3 innings, 12 strikeouts, I think 2 hits and 2 walks this entire spring. Eflin proved that like he's healthy and he's ready to go. What are you supposed to do?
Yeah.
You and I talked about it a little bit yesterday when we saw the news. Shocking at first, but understandable that Dean Kremer's headed for Norfolk.
Definitely understandable, and like you said, you keep him on a good regiment there, but he's going to be used at some point. And Mike kind of hit the nail on the head here. He's like, I'm going to probably use 8 to 10 starters this year, which pretty much every team in baseball does. So what I kind of like about it though is Dean's a competitive dude, and he's going to take this. He's going to take this to heart. I think he's going to be like, well, they didn't think I was good enough, and they sent me to AAA. Could Dean Kremer come out and throw to a sub 3.5 ERA because he's pissed off when he finally comes back? Like, he's got that bulldog in him. He shows you when his back's against the wall is when he's at his best. It's somehow Dean just gets lit up by like the Rockies all the time, which I never understand that. I don't know if it's a mental thing or whatever, but having that fire lit up under Dean Kremer's butt could be really good for this baseball team. I'm a Dean Kremer guy. I liked him, and I was when I texted you, I was shocked. Like you said, wasn't in anybody's bingo card. I thought Dean Kremer, regardless, was going to be the 5 because he's probably better than 90% of the 5s in baseball. He's good. He's good at a 5. He's just when we've had to use him in the years as a 3, that 4.42 ERA doesn't really play. But as a 5, a 4.2 ERA is pretty freaking good. I mean, outside of the Dodgers, can you name how many other teams had a number 5 with a 4.2?
And 170 plus innings pitched.
Right. It's not often, right? Those guys are usually getting rotated out all the time, all year long. Most of them sit around 100, maybe 120 innings. Like, he was a staple at a 5. Like, I was very happy with that. But is Zach Eflin better? Yeah. Better career. He's done it longer. He's done it at a higher level longer. But that just kind of proves to the depth that they have right now. Like,
the standard's been raised. You can't look at the 5 guys that are in that opening day rotation and say that any of them should have been the one sent down and not Dean. Yeah, it's great what Dean's done for this team. It's great that the innings that he's pitched, that bulldog mentality that he has. But when it just comes to talent and ability, he's not quite on the same level. Now, let me rephrase that. I think with ability, he could be on the same level as some of these guys, but consistency, he's not. He's not as consistent as these other guys, and that's where I guess with the ability, is a little bit better. Like you are never going to start. No team is going to say, Dean Kremer, Chris Bassett, Dean Kremer, Zach Eflin, Dean. Not when these guys are at their best, and that's just what it comes down to. I'm sure Dean's pissed. I'm sure I'm sure it never occurred to Dean throughout the entire spring that he wouldn't be in this rotation to start the year. And I'm sure they went to him and explained it to him like he's a professional. Like, hey, this isn't about you. This is about where we are with our rotation. The fact that we don't even need 5 starters, let alone 6. We want to keep you on a 6-day once every 5th day regimen. And they're not going to tell him these guys are better than you. But Dean, even though he's a competitor, he can look at these other guys' stats and how good they are, and and he knows. He doesn't have to like it, but he knows.
Yep.
So Dean's going down to the minors. Zach Eflin's going to get that 5th spot, and it's crazy because your opening day starter from last season is now your number 5 starter this year.
Right.
Shows the depth that you've added to this team. Then you look at the offense, and man, I saw an at-bat from Kobe Mayo the other day against the Yankees, against Max Fried in particular, that sent chills down my spine. He falls behind Fried 0-2 in his first at-bat against him. He fouls off a couple pitches, spits on another couple pitches, ends up being an 8-pitch at-bat, and on a 3-2 pitch, 110-mile-an-hour, 404-foot, 2-run homer off of Max Fried, who's a Cy Young candidate. Like they talk about Crochet, they talk about Skubal. Max Fried was in that. He was in that conversation last year. Sub 3 ERA for the Yankees as a lefty.
Can you think about that for a second? Like 3 of the game's top 5 lefties are in the AL East.
Yeah.
You got Fried, Crochet, and Rogers. And I'm probably missing another one.
And you're leaving out Ranger Suarez.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, what he's been.
I would probably put McClanahan over Ranger Suarez.
Well, but McClanahan's got to post up. He hasn't pitched in what feels like in 5 years. But I mean, you look at that at bat from Mayo, and in spring training, Mayo only struck out twice in 37 plate appearances.
Did he strike out once that day?
He struck out once that day.
Oh, okay.
And then he struck out. No, he didn't strike out that day. He struck out yesterday, and he struck out today.
Okay.
And he struck out today. But today, these actually weren't spring games for them. But then you look at him, and you look at what Basayo did. And everything Basayo hit this spring was just a rocket off the bat. And you want to talk about a guy that looks like he belongs. There is not 1 ounce of fear in this guy when he steps to the plate. There's not 1 ounce of doubt. He steps to the plate, and he expects to win every time he's in that batter's box. And you just saw it game after game after game this spring. I fully expected him to go into the flag court today at Camden Yards.
Do you know who he reminds me of?
I fully expected it.
Is Jonathan Scope.
Who's that?
Where like Scope never got cheated. Like he took his big daddy hacks every at bat, and if he missed and you got him on a good pitch and made him look stupid, guess what? Next at bat, he didn't care. He was coming right back with the daddy hacks.
Now, you hope that he's going to be better than Scope. I get what you're saying though. Like if Scope's 2017 season was what he hit 295, 34 home runs, over 100 RBI. Like you get that from Basayo, and I think Basayo's capable of that, if not better. I mean, his power profile is off the charts. But between he and Mayo, like they give you goosebumps, man. It gives you goosebumps to think what this lineup can be if those guys have figured it out at the big league level. And everything I saw from Kobe Mayo this spring tells me that offensively, he's figured it out. There is what I just said about Basayo, the same thing rings true for Mayo. There is no fear, there is no doubt. He thinks that when he's up there, he's beating that pitcher every at bat. And he had another at bat today where he worked a 10-pitch walk. He looked absolutely phenomenal in that at bat. I'm really excited to see what he can do. What were you going to say? Go ahead.
The only thing I'm going to worry about and maybe pump the brakes just a touch is now that we get into the regular season, now the analytics kind of come back into everything. And, so it won't be just like, hey, I know you're going out there, like we're trying to see what you got, like throw me your best stuff. Now it's like we're meeting prior to the game. This is what Kobe has strength on. This is what we're seeing in, the numbers. Yeah. Even if it's early, they're still pulling numbers. Let's attack him here. Let's do this. I won't be shocked if they both start off a little slow and then pick it up 10 games in. I wouldn't be shocked if they started hot either, but I just wouldn't be shocked if they did start slow just because, now it's starting to matter a little bit more. And they are still young. They're going to get exploited a little bit. But, I mean, I just hope for their mentality's sake, especially Kobe, because I feel like he's a lot upstairs. I hope he starts off fast.
Yeah, and that's the thing, and that's why I said if these guys have figured it out at the big league level, because they're facing spring training pitchers who are trying to get their work in. They might be throwing certain pitches more than others, trying to figure out the movement and everything like that. I will say, seeing him do it against Fried in a late spring training game, nice. When that's great to see. Seeing him do it in a game against the Nationals, who aren't in your division, they're in the National League, against guys who are looking to make that opening day squad. Those are good at bats too. I like seeing those. So, but you're right. Like it's because Kobe had a great spring last year.
Right.
Adley had a great spring last year. Adley had a great spring this year too, and Adley looked different to me this year. We'll get into that.
A lot of guys did.
Yeah. Well,
let's just jump right into that one.
Like Adley, the swing looked level. It looked like he was taking what was given to him. If there was a pitch on the outside corner, he put a good swing on it and just flicked it to the opposite field. Adley was one of the things I wanted to see from him from day one was, is he using the opposite field to his advantage? And he did it for the last couple of weeks. I'm seeing him go oppo every at bat
and not swinging out of his shoes.
Not every at bat.
That was the big thing for me, not swinging out of his shoes. Even trying to go the other way. Like last year, I mean, you could just see him, everything he had. Well, now it's just like, okay, I'm just going to just use my hands and boop, left field, big. I'll take a single. I've got 6 guys behind me that can hit the ball 485 feet. Like, I think they finally beat that into his head. Like, dude, you can still get paid while not hitting 30 home runs as a catcher. Like, there's things that you can do here. And I think Donnie Eckert and Dustin Lin played a big part in a lot of this. And hopefully it translate. Obviously, we're going to find out Thursday and then these first couple series. But I'm with you. I think a lot of guys just looked more comfortable in the box. Mainly thing what I saw the most was guys looked simplified. And then they weren't, I mean, especially early on, that the starters were like struggling to kind of hit a little bit. And it seemed like some of the younger guys were kind of winning a lot of the ball games early. But even still, like, even that they were getting out, like Kowser's swings just looked simplified. Like, he's going to swing through and miss some balls. He's going to strike out. That's fine. But Kowser was even using left field again. You get Kowser driving the left center gap for doubles all day long, it's going to transform lineup here. You got Adley doing it. You got Kowser going back doing it again. You got all of a sudden Gunnar starts using left field again. Like, you've got guys that can run a little bit, and they're starting to blaze around the bases. And then you bring up Ward, and then you bring up Alonso. Like, if they play this right, things could go really, really, really smooth. I think Paul froze. He's just staring at me.
It was. Did we lose you? You froze there.
Or maybe I froze. I don't know.
You froze. It looked like you froze on my end anyway. It was nice to see Kowser and Gunnar, for that matter, go deep off a lefty today. With Kowser, it was on a 2-strike curveball, and he hit a bomb. His first ever ball that he's hit on, amazingly.
One hop to Warehouse.
Yeah, his first ever home run that he's hit onto Utah Street. He doesn't get a plaque for it. He was kind of like, he said, I'm gonna petition to try and get that plaque out there. But he had an absolute bomb on a curveball, which is really good to see. Still a little nervous about him because he still struck out at like a 35 to 40% clip this spring. But watching him go deep off of a curveball today against a lefty was really, really nice to see. And you just look at this team as a whole. Gunnar, the power's back. I mean, like last year, when we saw him hit the few home runs he hit in the second half, it felt like those balls were barely getting out, like they were hitting the top of the groundskeeper shed. And this year,
I didn't see that on the field this year.
Yeah,
the groundskeeper. What is that? What's that?
Apparently, the Orioles bird watcher is he's livid that there's no groundskeeper shed. I guess we can get into that here in a second. But Gunnar's home runs are Gunnar Henderson 2024 home runs. Like these.
Oh, you've seen that in the World Baseball Classic. I mean, when he was getting a hold of him, he's got that little pose that right afterwards. God, I love that. It reminds me of the old Griffey pose at the last second. Like, obviously a different style, but
it's. I mean, he hits it and he just watches it, and
I love it.
And he knows, and like. And they aren't cheapies, man. They are just laser beams off of his bat. No, like, for my money, there are very few players that hit the ball as consistently hard as Gunnar Henderson does. It's just different coming off his bat. And I think that after last year, now that he's fully healthy with that shoulder, and he can lift the ball again, and with Alonso being protected, and like we saw the lineup the other day: Ward 1, Gunnar 2, Alonso 3. With that kind of protection around him, is anybody really doubting Gunnar can hit 40 home runs this year?
Yeah.
I mean,
you don't even need him to, but like, just put a good swing on the ball, and you might just have 40 of them go out on their own.
Right. And that's the thing. And this is, I meant to say this when we were talking about Adley. Adley was supposed to be the face of the franchise. He was the first overall draft, the number 1 overall draft pick in 2019, first draft pick of the Mike Elias era. And they basically said, "Hey kid, we're taking you 1 overall. You're putting this franchise on your back." And now he can look up and down his line and be like, "I don't have to be that dude. I'm not expected to be that dude." They've got 3 other guys in this lineup that they're expecting to be that dude. Like they've got Gunnar and Alonso and Basayo. I can just be me. I can just be Adley and spray the ball pole to pole. Pick up my doubles, hit 280, and hit 20 home runs, and I'll be an all-star. Like that's all they need. I
like how you said
do.
that though, because I think who else benefits from that too is Tyler O'Neill. Because I mean, a lot of it last year may have been him just trying to be the guy. Like, he was the only guy signed. He was the guy brought in to do all of the damage, and he didn't. But now maybe he gets to just relax.
And that's another guy. Hard. Another guy having a nice spring. He had a nice spring. He doubled today. The ball's been loud off of his bat. He came in. He's always in great shape, right? but we talked about this a couple of weeks ago. He came into spring training in baseball shape. He
Yes.
came in looking leaner, more athletic, and looking like he is taking the rigors of a 162 game schedule seriously. And if you get 130 games out of Tyler O'Neill, which is he's only done that once in his career, but if he manages to somehow post up 130 games, he's gonna have a big year. You're talking 25, 30 home runs. I mean, what, in 113 games 2 years ago, he hit 31 home runs with the Red Sox?
For Red Sox, yep.
Yeah. So there's a lot of things to be excited about this lineup. And that's before we even talk about the fact that, like, somebody pointed out to me, or just in general, hey, the Orioles only lost 3 everyday position players this spring. It was very tongue-in-cheek as an ode to last season after Westberg with the slight tear of the UCL, the partially torn UCL, Holiday with the hamate bone, Dylan Beavers recently with the knee soreness. But again, we talk about the depth. Are you nervous having Blaze Alexander play second base? Are you nervous offensively for what you're going to get from Mayo playing third base? Are you nervous to have Tyler O'Neill playing right field for you? Maybe the fact that maybe his body might not hold up, but like offensively, they have a lot of depth, whereas last year they suffer these injuries, and it's like, who's going to replace him? Luis Vasquez, was he even going to make the team? Did you think he was making the team?
I think he had a shot. I mean, obviously not now. Right, he got stitches. Well, he still might. I mean, stitches are maybe, what, like 6 days or something, but maybe. I had a slight feeling maybe he could because he does play shortstop, second base, and third base, and he plays it pretty well. I don't believe he was on the 40-man, though. So I know that was kind of like a question mark of whether he could slide through or who they would move. I really don't know. I was trying to like think of like what you would do with the current lineup, and I thought, I thought him and Jeremiah Jackson together was a good combination because then you have that spare outfielder while still having the spare infielder. And let's not forget that he's kind of our guy that comes in when we're down 10 runs to pitch, and he does a pretty decent job.
Right. Like, hey, man, just end this game for us. Just get out there and end things. Let me see.
He's got a career 0 ERA, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think he had 3 appearances last year and didn't give up anything. Yeah, you know what? I am shocked because I thought that he was on the 40-man, and he is not.
Yeah.
He's not.
Well,
he's
they had
not
to
on the
DFA
40-man.
him last year, and they ended up getting him back. But I mean, I think he's a quality ball player, and even if it's just for a couple weeks, because I think we'll see Jackson at the end of the Texas series. I don't think he's going to miss about 6-7 games, maybe. So, like, that's my question: is do you want to make a 40-man move knowing Holiday's going to be back in a week or so?
Right.
So, like, that kind of hurts Vasquez a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, considering you've already got Jeremiah Jackson and Brian Ramos, I don't think Brian Ramos has a snowball's chance in hell of making this team.
I don't either, but it was very, very odd to me that he was playing second base to the point where they were like trying to find him a way to make the team. So I thought that was kind of weird.
Yeah, I mean, he's a young guy. He just turned 24 like 10 days ago. Young guy, but he has more infield versatility than Jeremiah Jackson does. For Jeremiah Jackson, it's like you can play third base, you can play second base. Like, we can put you out there and you'll catch the ball most of the time. But like, you're not gonna be a game-saving defensive player, you know. And I don't know, the way Jeremiah Jackson swung it for the team last year, and then the way he swung it this spring. He had a big 3-run homer as a pinch hitter today. I think that he won that job. I think that especially because he's already on the 40-man. You had a couple of injuries pop up to a right fielder, to a second baseman, to a third baseman, and those are the 3 positions that Jeremiah Jackson plays. I think he made this ball club. You know, Gunner's not taking a seat this year. If he's healthy, Gunner's playing 158, 159 games. You know, and the only time that he might not play is if it's like game 1 of a doubleheader. Or game 2 of a doubleheader after maybe he just put up. I don't know. Even then, he's gonna play both games of a doubleheader because he's Gunnar freaking Henderson. Like, you know, I think it's Jeremiah Jackson. I look at this team and somebody said to me, "Wasn't Beavers our 4th outfielder?" And it's like, well, no, he was gonna be in a platoon with O'Neill, but then doesn't that make one of them the 4th outfielder? I'm not impressed.
Beavers is an interesting cat. Like, he could be an everyday starting right fielder right now. But he also could be a 4th outfielder and not play a whole lot. I think it's just going to be what he decides to do. what kind of start he gets off of. Me personally, and I could be dead wrong, so take this with a grain of salt. I think with Alvarez being pretty new, I think he's going to lean on the vets a little bit, at least early.
Yeah, I mean, beyond a shadow of doubt, O'Neill was going to be in that opening day lineup regardless because of the home runs on the opening day streak. But he also pounded the baseball all spring long. World Baseball Classic makes you a little nervous because he went to the World Baseball Classic, went like 1 for 15 or 2 for 17 or something like that against guys who were like actually trying to get him out. But he came back and picked up right where he left off before he left before he left camp. So. But yeah, I tend to agree with you. What I did find interesting was at Camden Yards today against the Nats, you had Mountcastle playing first base and Pete Alonso DHing. And Mountcastle hit 317 this spring. No home runs, but he had 2 doubles amongst his 13 hits. Again,
Do you think that was because they just got off a plane and showed up and played?
Probably.
Like just let him chill out.
Like Pete Alonso didn't sign that contract to say, "Hey, I'm going to DH half the time."
Yeah.
He's here to play first base, and I fully get that. But I think that they wanted to trade Mountcastle and had no suitors, and now they're like, "All right, he's on our roster. He's our best defensive first baseman. We'll find a way to get him in there." And
he's not a half bad hitter with runners in scoring position either. He's just don't have any power. But I mean, you come in against a lefty with runners in scoring position. I've got a lot of confidence around Mountcastle to do something.
And tell me, are you going to be disappointed if you turn on an Orioles game and they've got Mountcastle batting 5th playing first base and Alonso batting 4th DHing? Like, are you going to be upset as long as Alonso's in the lineup, are you going to be upset to see Mountcastle in that lineup?
No.
And again, that speaks to the depth of this team. There's not really too many dudes that when you see their name in the lineup, you're going to be like, why is he playing him?
So here's the thing, too, right? And a lot of people want, like, Basayo to DH and catch, so to almost never take a day off. I don't see that happening. I think Basayo's going to have quite a few days off, especially early. Him being a young guy, he's going to go through it at some point. He's going to go through it. He struggled a little bit at the end of last year, especially against lefties. I don't see him as an everyday player right now. I know they paid him to be one, but I mean, let's be honest. If you're a backup catcher and you're catching 2 or 3 days a week and you're DHing, like, you're not really getting a whole lot of time, 1, to get some work in, and 2, to really, like, fix anything. So, and to be completely honest here, DH is hard. It's a really hard position that a lot of people really take for granted. Like, when you look at Santander's numbers in his career, he was a below 200 hitter as a DH with no power. But he was a damn good right fielder with a lot of power and good runners in scoring position. It's a mental thing. Like, some guys have to be in the game, like moving around, like just staying, like everything. When you're sitting on the bench, it's not easy to do what David Ortiz did and Giancarlo Stanton, to just sit on the bench and then just be like, okay, an hour later I'm getting hit again. And you got a 21-year-old kid. He might not get to that level where he's ready to rock and roll immediately, especially with that hour break. So I could see him taking a little bit of breaks, and you see Mountcastle playing first base a lot more than Basayo.
Yeah, well, and and that's the other thing is, did Basayo get in the game at first base today?
I didn't watch the end of it. So
I mean, I only got to watch little bits of it because we had a makeshift practice of our own today. Let me see. No, he caught. He pinch hit for Mountcastle, and then he moved over to catcher, and Noel played first base hitting. Yeah, I
didn't even know he played first base.
Apparently, but he played first
no
base,
idea.
taking Rutschman's spot in the lineup. So, like, I'm trying to look to see the pitching matchups for the Orioles to start the year. They still have it as TBD versus Trevor Rogers for the Twins. We know Joe Ryan's making that start.
Yeah.
So, if Basayo's going to play against right-handed pitching, he's probably going to sit against tough lefties, against most lefties, at least to start the year. Look, Adley's going to catch 2 out of every 3 games. That's what they're going to do. He's going to catch 2 out of every 3 games. So you're going to see Basayo play catcher once a series, and you're going to see him probably DH once a series, and then they may give him a game off, for all we know. And to start his career, especially, he's a big dude, and technically I think he's still growing, right? Big guy, never gone through the rigors of a full major league season before. I look at Basayo, and if he's playing, if you have 6 games in a week and he's playing 4, maybe 5 games, like, I'm okay with him getting a day or two off every week.
Yeah.
He's still going to help you more often than not being in your lineup. I mean, you're talking about 130 games probably from. I mean,
Yeah,
if he
but
gets,
even like think about it. Like if you started him at first base, like he's going to come out of the game. So like, why would you even want to put him at first? Like you want the bat in the lineup late in the game. Like, but after the seventh inning, if you have a lead, he's coming out. Like Ryan Mountcastle would come in a heartbeat over him late in the game. I don't think there's any question there. But so then you lose an at bat, maybe two, where if you needed it, like then that's a problem. So I don't even know if they even play him at first base very much.
I think he might play 8 games at first base this year. I don't think that they view him as really as a first baseman very much at all this year. It might be, to get Mountcastle into the lineup and get Pete off his feet for a game. Like that. Otherwise, he's catching or he's DHing. I really. With that in mind, do you think that Sam Huff makes his team?
I don't see there's a reason to have 3 catchers.
Yeah, I
think Basayo is going to have a good amount of rest. I think he's going to be fine.
I just hate the idea. I've always hated the idea of having 2 catchers and playing one and DHing the other. Yeah. And it makes more sense when the 2 guys are Adley Rutschman and Samuel Basayo. I hated it when it was like James McCann and Adley Rutschman or Gary Sanchez and Adley. It's like, really, what the hell are we doing here?
Yeah. It helps that Taylor Ward was drafted as a catcher, and he has caught, I think, 20-some innings in the big leagues as a catcher. So an emergency situation, he could do it. And then you go to the taxi squad. I don't see why you would want to burn a roster spot for a guy who's going to probably not touch the field for 12 of the first 15 games. I don't see that. I don't see the point. I'd rather have Vasquez personally because he can run a little bit and then do other things.
All right, well, so with that in mind, let's get into this roster makeup as we head towards opening day. Again, opening day just 4 days away. Today's show brought to you by Glenn Clark Radio. If you missed anything from Glenn Clark Radio this week, including conversations with Storm Davis, Juju Reese, Brenda Fries, and more, you can find them in the Glenn Clark Radio Week in Review feature at PressBoxOnline.com. And as always, watch or listen to GCR every Monday through Thursday at 11 a.m. at PressBoxOnline.com/radio or right here on PressBox's Facebook and YouTube pages. All right, and let's start with the bullpen because I think the bullpen is I know the bullpen is the biggest question mark for this team starting the year. We pretty much know who's going to be where in the rotation and in the lineup, but the bullpen. So this is who I have as their 8 relievers. I've got Dietrich Enns, Rico Garcia, Jackson Kowar. I've got Grant Wolfram, Yennier Cano, Tyler Wells, Ryan Helsley, and I had Keegan Aiken, but Aiken's not starting the year on the roster. He's going to go on the IL. So the question is, do the Orioles bring in outside reinforcements, or are we looking at one of Geraldo or Anthony Nunez or Cameron Foster? Now, former Oriole Matt Bowman, 7 1/3 scoreless innings pitched this spring, 5 hits, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts after 2 scoreless innings today. He just opted out of his contract with the Twins. I don't know what's going on, though, because it said that he opted out 3 days ago, then said he opted out 4 hours ago, but then he also pitched today after opting out, so I don't know what's going on there. Do you think the Orioles maybe make a reunion with Matt Bowman, or do you think that they go with what they already have in-house? They've got a number of relievers options on the 40-man. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, so you don't even have Albert Suarez on the 40-man yet. So Suarez is a guy who technically could take over for Aiken, and I would feel a little bit better about that. I'd be, a guy who's been a veteran and has pitched pretty well. And I would probably trust him over Geraldo, to be completely honest with you. And I like Geraldo. His changeup's pretty nasty. He was like one of the best in baseball in the second half. He just can't locate the fastball. So if I'm going with that, I mean, Geraldo obviously is already on the 40-man. That becomes a problem. I don't know how you add Albert Suarez. I'm not the biggest ends guy, and he pitched well last year, but I just feel like I don't know. It just didn't seem as good as the numbers were. I don't know why. But I mean, I'm looking at it right now, and there's no room to add Albert Suarez. The only thing you could do, because they've already moved Selby. Selby's on the 60-day. So the only thing you could do would be like, I don't even know. You would have to cut Geraldo or something like that. Like, because you're not moving Espada. You're not moving Cameron Foster off of it. you can't DFA these guys. So you either DFA Ends or Geraldo, and that's about it. Or Kowar, and I think Kowar makes the team.
Or
they don't have room.
Do you look at Brian Ramos? And you're like, I thought it was interesting he was playing second base today. Were they giving him an opportunity to showcase because they're going to have to DFA him? I mean, if you look at everybody else on this 40-man roster that's not a minor league player, aside from Leody Taveras, who's going to be your fourth outfielder, doesn't Brian Ramos make the most sense?
To DFA, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, but I feel like they're going to use that to bring in an outfielder. All right, because think about it right now. If Beavers is down, right, that's one. Kerstad's down. Trimble's down. No, he's down in the minor leagues. So it leaves you with Ward, Tavares, O'Neill, and Cowser. So you have 4, right? So you have 2 righties, 2 lefties. You know O'Neill really probably shouldn't play too much in the outfield, right? So now you're kind of really leaning on Tavares. But do you want to give yourself another outfielder? Do you use Reed Trimble for that for a couple days and start his clock, which I don't think that's a huge deal. I felt like Brian Ramos's roster spot would probably be for an outfielder if they claim one. Because think about it, Weston Wilson, it played okay this spring, not on the 40-man. They may choose to keep him for a couple days if Beavers is down. Who was the other outfielder that played well? I think he played today. I missed it. Did I miss his name?
Fabian?
No.
I know Bradfield.
I know Bradfield was there too, but
Honeycutt, you're not even close to thinking about.
No. Maybe I was thinking about somebody else, but I mean, you could use Jackson and out there, and then use Brian Ramos' spot for another arm, maybe. But yeah, I mean, I like what Jackson here said. Your DFA ends way before Geraldo. I kind of agree with that. You know, he's Geraldo's younger. He's got a lot of time to learn. I think he's got options left too. Like, I like Geraldo, but he's got a little bit more to learn, I think. But they gotta. I think it's gonna have to be Albert Suarez somehow. If Aiken's missing some good time.
And you know, I forgot about Suarez because he's not on the 40-man.
Right.
And
he has an opt-out too, so I think they're gonna find a way to exercise it.
And you know what? I can totally see that. I can totally see them being, because he didn't pitch too terribly the other day. He got lit up his outing prior to that, but we also kind of we kind of know that about him, right? Like one start he'll go out there and he'll give you 6 innings of 2-run ball. Another start he'll go out there and throw 100 pitches by the 4th inning and walk 5 guys. That's the same thing that he was 2 years ago, and he kind of saved the Orioles season after Grayson Rodriguez went down. Also, little sidebar: Grayson Rodriguez starting the year on the IL with the Angels with arm fatigue.
I'm so shocked. What?
And by the way, so I posted about that, and I said it makes you like. Is there any wonder why the Orioles were willing to give up a starter with 4 years of control for a rental outfielder? And somebody was like, aren't you one of the people that was complaining about the trade? And it's like, well, yeah, but not because I was upset about getting rid of Grayson, because at the time I was upset about Ward being the only offensive addition. And then even said if they bring in like Alonso, I'd be happy with the trade. Just to kind of put that out there, because a lot of people had fingers in not enough people had fingers in my face. But anyway, I digress.
The trade was, look, when I first rolled it, I was like, what the, like I didn't understand it. But then, like, it kind of grew on me, and the more I realized that, like, teams are really hunting right-handed power bats, and, like, kind of seeing the career that, that Ward has had, he's just been that sneaky guy that, like, nobody's really paid attention to because nobody pays attention to the Angels at all. But he's always had, like, a pretty decent career. I would say he's an above-average Major League player, I feel like. I mean, he's been playing for a long time. Maybe, we'll say maybe, and I'm not saying, like high above average. I'm just saying, like, if you have your average Major League player, I think he's a step better than that. Not 2 or 3 steps, but he's a step better than the average player, which is, I mean, it's fine. You knew Grayson Rodriguez is probably not going to pitch that much longer in the big leagues. Let's just be real. He's got 4 years control. Do you think in 4 years he's even in the big leagues anymore?
As a reliever.
Do you even think he has it anymore? Mentally, physically?
See, I don't think that you can make a statement like that about a guy about a guy.
I'm asking. The velo's been down for 3 straight years. He's down to 94 mile an hour velo.
Well, but he's also got.
He doesn't throw a 2-seam, so you're having a 94 mile an hour 4-seam that doesn't move. and you think he's going to pitch again in 4 years? Unless it comes back to 97, 98, he ain't getting in the bullpen throwing 94.
It's going to be really interesting. It's going to be because part of me was pulling for Grayson because I love Grayson, and I really thought that he could be that next
supposed
dude.
to be our guy.
The talent was there. And everybody talked about how, he wasn't that good, blah, blah, blah. It's like he pitched to a sub-3 ERA in 16 of his 20 starts in 2024. It's the other 4 starts that he was pretty bad. Like, I think that Grayson, you may be right, but I'm not going to write off a guy who's 26 with 4 years of control. I'm not going to say that he's done.
I only
think
say that because I've heard he has. How am I supposed to put this? He's lazy. I'll just be blunt about it. He's lazy in his rehab.
Okay. Well, and that would explain why he keeps coming up with these injuries all the time. Yeah. And maybe it's one of those things where his career as a starter is done, but I could see him being a back end reliever, whatever it's going to take for him. I mean, DL Hall, stopped being a starter and became a legitimate reliever. You saw it with what's his name, Harvey. What's Harvey's first name?
Hunter.
Hunter Harvey. You saw it
I actually wanted him back this offseason. I thought he pitched pretty well last year. Yeah, but he can't stay healthy either. But
he's been great. He's been great out of the bullpen again. But like you said, a guy who can't stay healthy. But we saw it with Hunter Harvey, Andrew Miller. There was another Oriole who was.
I used to catch Andrew Miller. Let me tell you, that was one of the worst pitchers I've ever seen in my life as a starter.
Really?
Oh my God, dude! He would bounce a ball 42 feet.
Wow.
Like on the regular. I'm talking like if you had 10 pitches, he was bouncing 6 of them. It was bad. And then you put him in the bullpen, and all of a sudden it was just, oh, this how you throw a strike? Just because I'm a reliever? It was wild. It was wild to watch.
That's Brian Mattis was another one who was a starter who became a decent reliever. Just ask David Ortiz. But so I don't know that Grayson's career is done in 4 years, but I would not be shocked to see him in the bullpen, maybe even as early as this year. Just to be able to use that arm. But
the Angels just did that. Who did it? Was it Reed Detmers?
Yeah,
because Detmers was terrible as a starter. They put him in the bullpen, and I was actually looking at trading for him because the bullpen numbers were really good last year.
And because I remember being like, Detmers is still in the game, and then being like, oh,
he's young.
He's a reliever now.
Yeah. 4 years control, I believe.
But I think I was thinking that Reed Detmers was somebody else also.
Yeah.
When because I think there was another Detmers that was in the game
there
a while
was.
back. But yeah. I don't know. I think that Grayson could end up being reliever, but the other thing is that I lost my train of thought. I completely lost my train of thought there. But look, the Orioles bullpen, I'm excited for their bullpen with some of the guys that are going to be in there, like Kowar and Wolfram, because I think that their arms are electric. I think their arms are legitimate. Cano, even if he developed that splitter and just to have something that the teams have to look out for outside of his sinker, he burned us too many times last year for me to trust until I see him pitching well consistently, at least from the first month of the season. Dietrich ends, we were saying this stuff about Sir Anthony Dominguez last spring when his ERA was, like you said, 21 last spring, and he came out and
like 25.
and he was pretty solid out of the bullpen for the Orioles last year, solid enough to get traded to a contender, right? Mm-hmm. And so was Enns working on stuff? I mean, he struck out more in the batter per inning when he came over to the Orioles and pitched.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's like a sub-3.2 ERA with the ball club. So, people are like, Paul, no, not Enns. I think he's going to be in this bullpen. I really, especially because it's a lefty and Aiken just went down and he's a lefty.
Yeah.
He's in the bullpen.
Yeah, you got to keep him now at that point because you can't have Wolfram just take the whole thing by himself. But I think that, I understand people, and I'm kind of on the same boat. I don't think they did enough with the bullpen because this bullpen's it's 50-50 like crazy. Like a guy like Enns last year had really good numbers, but the stuff just doesn't look that good. Mm-hmm. And then you've got guys like Garcia. I feel like the same thing. The stuff looks really good, but the numbers weren't really good last year. They were okay. And then you got Wolfram. Wolfram's stuff really, really good looking, but the numbers last year just didn't back it up. They could take that step and become very good, which is that's the whole 50-50 thing. They could also be really bad, just like last year, and give up runs and screw us over. So, and I think, and I'm right there with a lot of the fans. I'm really uneasy with the bullpen just because I feel like they could be good, but I also feel like they could be really bad. Like, I don't think it's wish-washy compared to, like, I think the starting rotation is going to be good. I think the lineup's going to be good. No one knows what the hell we're getting out of this bullpen.
And the thing about that, they've got this young, new coaching staff, right? I think they said 10 of the Orioles' 13 coaches didn't have big league experience as a player. And this is a first-time managing gig for Albernez. Donnie Ecker's a great hire. Who's the new hitting coach, who was the assistant hitting coach over in Philadelphia. I think this is where you really depend on the coaching.
You have to.
Like to make some of these guys reach their potential, because the arms that Wolfram and Kowar have, like, they should be big league relievers. It is absolutely electric stuff. You've got to figure out how to hone it. Somebody figured out Tanner Scott. Somebody figured out Hunter Harvey. So, like, you've got to be able to figure that out. You've got guys.
We figured out Felix Batista.
Yeah, dude, he was
that dude
walking.
Had a 19 ERA.
Yeah,
he got cut and sat out baseball.
A-ball. He pitched an A-ball for like 8 years, and I look at
Well, you know the story on him, right? He was cut by the Marlins and wasn't even in baseball, and Mike Elias called him.
Really?
Yeah. I think he said, I forget what year it was, but it was pretty early on. Dude had I forget how many walks. I have to look it up at this point, but it was bad.
He was walking like 8 per 9. I think I remember that. It was a high number.
It was bad. And but yeah, I mean, to your point, like, somebody out there always figures out somebody. So hopefully we can get one of these guys to crack. So, because if not, like I said, it's just so wishy-washy. You just never know what you're going to get.
Well, and you have guys in Tyler Wells. I think that one of my bold predictions this year is that Tyler Wells is going to be an all-star reliever. I think that Tyler Wells is just nasty as a reliever.
So
Helsley,
his first 2 years, he was in the Dominican Summer League, had 14 walks in 26 innings, and then next year he had 20 walks in 12 innings. That was in 2014. They cut him. Didn't play at all in 2015, and the Orioles called him in 2016. So that wasn't even Mike. But then, like you said, he was an A-ball, never got past Frederick up until 2019, and then he just started flying up through. And then by 2021, because he didn't play in 2020, and then 2021 he took over.
Wasn't Batista? Didn't he go from like high A to the major leagues in one season in the same season? Didn't he start?
No. Well, 2021 he went from high A to triple A, and then 2022 he started in the big leagues.
Okay, he started in the big leagues in 22. I thought he came up later in the year.
Well, he might have. I don't know. He only had he had 65 games. I would say he started.
Okay. I thought it's so funny that you said nobody pays attention to the Angels, and that's the game that I have on my TV right now is Angels Dodgers. But that's just because
leave it to Paul to always be the outlier.
It's Ohtani and Trout. You know what I mean? But
yeah.
See, the bullpen, I think we pretty much have it figured out. It's just a matter of, and I think you're right. I think
did we say Tyler Wells?
We did say Tyler Wells.
Okay.
Yeah, and I look at the back end, and I look at Wells, and I look at Helsley. I think that's a really great, eighth inning, ninth inning setup there. And then keep in mind that Kittredge is going to come back probably by mid to late April if it really was just a little shoulder inflammation. He said that he plans that he figured he'd probably be back sometime in April. So you add Kittredge in there. I think Suarez is going to take Aiken's spot. I think you're absolutely right about that. And then, honestly, I think it will be Ends that maybe even when Kittredge comes back, then I think it could be Ends that goes because he had a terrible spring. He's 36 years old. Everybody else in that.
So, but here's the question though: if he's ready to come back as another righty, would you get rid of a lefty for another righty? If you had to bring in Suarez.
Well, but then when Aiken gets back, Suarez is gonna be gone.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
So
before Aiken's back, do you want to get rid of a lefty and have just Wolfram? Sorry, I feel like you need to have two.
I think you need to have two also. That's a great point. So then,
there's a lot of question marks in this bullpen, isn't it?
I have no idea.
Put yourself in Mike Elias' shoes right now.
Oh man. I legitimately have no idea. Hey, this is a question I don't know. Grace and it's funny. They must use talk to text. Is it true that Grayson Rodriguez's dead arm report this year was 1 year to the day he reported dead arm last year?
I think
Is
so.
that's crazy? That's crazy.
That's why I tweeted it. It literally was like, oh, well, this is what we've heard before. Oh, it was nothing. You know, my velocity was down in the next start. Oh, I got a little bit of dead arm, but it's not too it's not too bad. Then the IL stint comes, and then he never throws another pitch.
Right. Like it could turn out. It could very well turn out that the Orioles won that trade. Like if Taylor Ward goes out there and hits 250 with 25 home runs this year, and Grayson Rodriguez doesn't pitch, they won that trade. Or Grayson Rodriguez makes 5 starts and then is relegated to a bullpen role. The Orioles won that trade. You know, Randall says O's needed
we didn't even talk about another trade that Mike won. Cade Stroud was sent down by the Diamondbacks.
Was he really?
Yeah, he sent to AAA.
I mean,
I forget the guy, Reed something, but he tweeted that from the Diamondbacks, the Diamondback reporter. They had like a 10 ERA in spring. They sent it down to AAA.
That's
what shocked me because I thought Cade Stroud was pretty good.
Well, I thought he was pretty good too, but somebody pointed it out to me that he never had like a sub-5 ERA in the minors ever. That what he did at the big league level last year was kind of like out of nowhere, right? And so maybe there was a lot of smoke and mirrors there. I don't know, but I mean, Blaze Alexander is going to start at second base probably on opening day. I have to imagine he's your opening day second baseman. What did you see from Blaze? Was there anything that really stood out to you? I watched him play a good bit this spring, and I wasn't like unimpressed by him, but there was nothing about him that really made me like, oh yeah, I really like this guy. He just seemed like a dude to me.
Yeah, and that's what you need in the big leagues. You need a bunch of dudes that just gel together. He doesn't do anything like one thing fantastic, but I think he does pretty much everything in his game above average, which I think is pretty good. He runs well. He has some pop from the right side. He's got a pretty good arm. He plays pretty aggressive defense, and he plays infield and outfield. I mean, what more could you really ask for? I mean, you're basically looking at Ryan Flaherty again, I think, but he probably hits a little bit better.
Right.
I think Ryan probably had more power, but I think you're going to see a more complete hitter compared to Ryan than you would with Blaze. But I just think he just adds an element to just like think about it. If he came in the game, like, are you missing anything on defense? I don't think so.
No, and that's the thing. Like I'm not if I see Blaze in the game, whether it's at second base, third base, center field, I'm not. I just think that he's a gritty ball player in the sense that like he's going to get after it. He's going to play as hard as he can. He's going to make the plays that you need him to make. Offensively, it was just kind of ho hum from him. You know, like he'll put the bat on the ball.
He's a 230, 240 hitter, I think, which I think is fine for a backup player.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's fine. You know, at the end of the day, what we're talking about right now, and it's the same thing we were just talking about with the bullpen. Like one of these spots is just being warmed for Andrew Kittredge. You know, the Blaze is just warming that spot for when Holiday comes back, which will probably be sooner than we think. Because again, the kid's just 21 years old, 22 years old. His body, he's going to be back sooner than we think.
So here's another question for you. Now you just said that and it popped in my mind here. Knowing that Kittredge say he misses 10 days, do you start with Anthony Nunez? Just because you could option him back down and not have to DFA anybody?
And see, that's a really great point, but you can option Cano down. You can option.
I think they're going to give Cano a shot. I think they're going to give him a shot to see if he can rebound.
Yeah,
because guys have bad years sometimes. I'm not going to say that Cano sucks and we need to get rid of him.
Yeah,
he did suck last year. I'm not discrediting that. But I think he's if there's somebody you could point to rebound, I think he's probably it. But I'm not saying rebounding to like a 2 ERA either. I'm thinking if you could Cano with a 3.2, I think you're okay. As long as he's not pitching in the 8th and 9th inning again, I think he's okay.
Yeah, and that's the key there, right?
Yeah.
Your when Kittredge is back, your 8th, 9th inning, and honestly, even when they got Kittredge, I'm like, why are you making Kittredge your 8th inning guy and not Tyler Wells? You know, and I get it because Kittredge has been there, done that.
What's his face? Michael Kopech.
And weren't you
still going to beat that drum until he gets signed? What the hell is going on with him?
Didn't you say he wants like $15 million?
Yeah, it was like at one point. Yeah, I heard like 12 to 15. But like at this point, dude, like take a freaking deal. Unless you're literally just sitting there waiting on the Dodgers to call you. I don't know. which he might be.
That's probably exactly what he's doing.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. And at this point, you really, and I get it's a little bit different with relievers, but you really want a guy who's been sitting around all spring. Like, I'm sure
Right.
he's getting his work in and doing what he needs to do, but you can't simulate spring training on your own. You know.
Somebody asked me about my cover, and I was like, it's still here.
Yeah, see, I'm further back in the comments because I'm trying to like see if we missed anything like this one. Sean Whipple, I know it's expected that Bradish is on an innings limit this year, but it's a long shot that it's higher than we think. Boz pitched 169 innings last year, coming back from Tommy John surgery. I don't know. I think that until that they're going to let Kyle Bradish pitch as much as Kyle Bradish wants to pitch. I think that if Bradish, I mean, look, they let him pitch 5 into the 6th inning today and 74 pitches, despite the fact that he had, almost as many. He had 43 balls and 43 strikes and 31 balls, in 74 pitches. Yeah. And they stretched him out to 78 pitches to start before that. He's going to pitch against the Twins. I don't think that there's going to be any restrictions on him early in the year that are any different than your typical restrictions. Because, I mean, honestly, we're 3 months away from it being 2 years removed from Tommy John surgery. It's not like he just had it last year. He had it in June of 2024, and it's March 2026. So I think that Bradish Bradish is the one who's going to decide how many innings he throws this year. I don't think it's going to be anybody else. And if he's still pitching, if he's at 130 innings towards the middle to end of August, and he's still pitching like an ace, he'll go up to 170 innings. And I don't think anybody's going to have a problem with that. But
I seen somebody in the comments earlier say it, and I don't disagree with it. You might see some phantom IL stints this year. And then use Dean Kremer to kind of fill in, to keep guys kind of missing 2 starts here and there, but then still getting their work down in AAA. So they don't use a true 6-man, but they use this phantom IL, a little bit of soreness, and then, here comes Dean Kremer, or here comes back Zach Eflin, or whoever, and they just keep rotating these guys throughout the year. Yeah.
Yeah,
yep.
Dave Lively. I could see some IL stints for tired arms instead of a 6-man. I think that
would make a lot of sense unless they got caught.
Yeah, well, I think that I think I kind of alluded to that a little bit earlier this off season, where it was like, look, you could have a guy that you. Where it's maybe because you have so many guys that are on your 40-man that you can use it out of the bullpen, and for what people don't understand is an option isn't like your option down, and as soon as you're called up, that option's gone. That option lasts for the entire season. So one option lasts for 1 year. So Dean Kremer being sent down, they can call Dean up, send Dean down, call Dean up, send Dean down as much as they want this year. He's not eligible to come back to the big league roster till April 9th, barring injury. But they can send him down as much as they want this year. They can do that with Cano, too. They can do that with a number of guys on this roster. I think that they'll do that more with the bullpen. I don't think you're going to see phantom injuries to Chris Bassett or Zach Eflin or anybody in the rotation. I think that they'll really play the option card a lot with this bullpen. And there's going to be rainouts where that ends up causing double headers, and you'll see somebody get called up to be the 27th man for the double header, and maybe that's how Dean gets back up here at some point. Kind of like Rogers when he made his debut against Boston in the doubleheader last May.
Yeah. How nice is it to have a guy like Dean Kremer instead of a young guy?
Right. Like it's like, oh, we got Dean instead of being like, oh, Cade Povich is coming up here and he could give you 6 innings of 3-run ball. He could give you 3 innings and walk 5.
Well, Dean Kremer could also give up 7. I mean, it's just what you get out of him sometimes.
Yeah, which
if it's a bad team, don't start him.
Yeah, right. Oh, he's
if it's the Yankees, go ahead and start him. We're good.
He's coming up to face the White Sox, so I think they're going to be a lot better this year.
Yeah.
By the way. Today's show brought to you by the latest edition of Press Box, which is available now. On the cover, Dave Ginsburg looks at Cal Ripken Jr.'s new life at 65, including his role with the Orioles ownership group. Also inside, we learn more about new Ravens coach Jesse Minter and meet college lacrosse players from across the area's programs. You can find the new issue for free all throughout the region, including at all Baltimore area High's dairy stores, or you can read the entire issue at PressBoxOnline.com. I walked into a High's dairy store yesterday trying to find this new flavor of Alani, this new lime slush flavor. They didn't have it, and I saw a copy, I bought like a beef stick or whatever. saw a copy of Press Box, and part of me was like, what if I just took that, opened it to the back page with the ad for the battering, and was like, hey, that's me. Just
Can I have this for free?
yeah. Well, it is free. You just pick it up.
Oh, okay.
It is. It is free.
That'd be even funny if you said that then.
Yeah. This is me. There's a reason.
You gotta be like, yeah. Go ahead and take it. Yeah, it's on the house.
Put it in a frame on your wall. But yeah. So let's talk about the rest of this Orioles team. So we know that, barring something catastrophic in the next few days, on opening day, it's going to be Alonso at first, Alexander at second, Gunnar at short, Mayo at third, Adley behind the dish. You're probably going to have Basayo DHing, and you're going to have Ward in left, Cowser in center, O'Neill in right. Mm-hmm. Who makes up the rest of this roster? I think that it's a foregone conclusion, really. I mean, we know Mountcastle is your backup first baseman. He's going to get a lot of starts.
That gives you, 10? You only get, 2 more after that? 3 more? 13, right?
So you've got
13 hitters. 13 hitters, 13 pitchers. So if you have 10 with Mountcastle, I think we both agreed Jeremiah Jackson. So that gives us 11.
And then Leandro Taveras is your fourth outfielder, even though
he had 12 right there.
He had a terrible spring. Mm-hmm. And then
this is where I don't understand the whole third catcher thing, because why would you waste that? Because here's where Vasquez could come into play, or here's where Ramos could come into play for even just a couple days, and then now you're only sending down Ramos or DFAing Ramos when Holiday comes back, and I think that's a fair upgrade. I don't know. Do they go Reed Trimble for a couple days to have a little bit more outfield depth too instead of Jackson? Or you take the definite defense over Jackson? Maybe you start his clock, but look, he's got speed. He's a good defender. He's a switch hitter. Yeah, it could happen. I don't know. That last spot I think is way up in the air for 5 guys. We didn't even talk about Joenski Noel. Do you maybe bring in another? Look, he could play outfield. He's not the greatest at it. He's got a lot of power, though. If it's just a couple days and you got to worry about DFAing him, I don't know if they want to do that again.
That's true, because you're right. He's not on the 40 man. Yeah. Here's another interesting thing, and I may not know how this works. When you put somebody on the 60-day IL, is it to start the season they have 60 days, or is it from when you put them on the IL? So it's to start the season.
Yeah.
Okay. I was thinking Jordan
Westberg and Batista on it already.
I was thinking Westberg, but Westberg, I mean, if you're putting on the 60-day IL, that means he's not coming back till June, right? Instead
is it that long?
I mean, 60 days. You're talking 30 days a month. That gets you into late May, early June before he starts a rehab. Really? I mean, he probably starts a rehab.
Well, you could rehab during the 60 days.
Yeah, you can rehab during that. But now if it was a 60
May
days,
May 25th. Yeah, May 25th. Yeah.
So
I think that's smart.
I mean, I did come up with it, so
Yeah. No, I don't see Jordan Westberg making it before April or before May 1st kicks.
Yeah.
So what's another 20 days at that point? Now, if Mayo really sucks, then you really be kicking yourself. But I don't know if Westberg can make that throw before June anyway.
Yeah. And the thing is, this kind of takes care of itself. If like you said, if Holiday's back by the Texas series, I mean, which is the second series of the season.
No, I'm thinking after it. So he misses maybe the first 6 games. I think 6 is probably fair.
Okay, so if he comes back after the Texas series, right?
Where do they go on the road? Because aren't they off right after that?
Don't they go to Pittsburgh?
Is that what it is?
Do they go to Pittsburgh early or?
Let me go here. So the series ends on the 31st, and the first they play at home again on the 1st, and then they're off, and then they're at Pittsburgh. I could see Holiday meeting them in Pittsburgh.
Right.
He missed 7 games. So then he's on the road between Pittsburgh and the White Sox. Another day off, and you come back against the Giants. I could see Holiday coming back in 7 games.
Right, and so
maybe before, but I mean, let's say he can't break it again, so you don't have to really baby it that much.
Right, and like I said, he's 22, right? He's 22 years old, so like he's gonna heal faster than if he was 28, 29, 30. Yeah. So when Jackson comes back, that last roster spot kind of takes care of itself. I mean, because one, are you putting Beavers on the IL? Right. So if Beavers isn't going on the IL,
That's another
you
one we didn't even think about.
yeah, you really only have the three roster spots. If Beavers goes on the IL and he's on the IL for 10,
That's
15
what,
days,
10 days?
10 days,
How
it
many
could
is
be
he
a little bit
missing there?
longer.
So it's 6 here. He would come back in the White Sox series. That's the fourth series of the year.
Yeah.
At that point, like, do you just keep him and just let him wait until you come home on the 10th of April?
Mm-hmm. And then on top of that, I mean, like when Holidays comes back, you're not getting rid of Blaze Alexander, and
No.
Blaze has no options. He's got to be on your big league team, so you're going to keep Blaze. Jeremiah Jackson's spot is now as the worst person.
He has
to come.
options though, doesn't he?
Jeremiah, I think he
think
might.
he did.
Let
Let me
me
double check here. I gotta pull up Fangraphs. Don't go down there. He has 3 options left, so that could be that's better than having a DFA somebody.
And I mean,
So I think they go that route.
man, you're talking about a guy who, in 2025, at the big league level, in 170 at bats, 775 OPS. He has 276 average and 328 on base percentage. He had 5 home runs, and then this spring 898 OPS. And again, it's spring training, but he didn't do anything to lose a spot. He played better than every other utility guy on your roster.
I don't think he played a single inning of outfield this spring, though.
Let's see.
I think he was a lot of infield because they knew Holiday was down.
Let's see. Fielding in spring training.
If he did, it was less than 5 innings.
He played 26. He played 12 games at second base.
Yeah.
He played all 12 of his games at second base.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how much outfield worked? Now we were talking about maybe using him as that outfielder if Beavers isn't ready. So can you now? Because he hasn't practiced it to that, as far as we know. I mean, I'm sure he's gotten some work in, but not in a game situation.
Yeah,
so
he definitely
does that leave Trimble back into play? I don't know.
I don't think Trimble's in play at all. I mean Trimble.
I'm just thinking for a 4th outfielder or 5th outfielder.
Right, and that's the other thing. I think that by June, I think Leody Taveras is done as a big league player. I just think he's done, and I think by June that your 4th outfielder is Bradfield. I really do. I really do, because the speed, the defense, and you can use him truly as a 4th outfielder. I mean, if you've already,
June.
Because it's going to give him 40, 50 games at the AAA level to show what he can do. In 50 some odd games at AA last year, he had a 398 on base percentage.
I think he had probably an opportunity if he stayed healthy last year and didn't miss so much time with that hamstring. I think he probably had a shot to break with the team to start this year.
Right.
But
and
he missed so much time. Like, you have to give him some reps at AAA at this point. So I think June's probably a fair assessment for his timeline.
Well, and because when you look at it, Ward is going to play just about every day. Calzer's going to play just about every day, and one of Beavers and O'Neill is going to play just about every day. So you don't really need your 4th outfielder starting all that many games. If you can utilize your 4th outfielder as a true 4th outfielder, defensive replacement where he comes into play center and Calzer moves over to the left late in the game to take over for Ward, or you need a pinch runner in a tight game late in the ball game. You need somebody who can lay down a solid bunt for you. Bradfield can do all of that for you. Bradfield's an elite bunter. You know what I mean? But
let me ask you a question. Right now, is Bradfield better than Tavares? Right this second.
Hitting wise, I don't think so.
I think they're the same. Hitting wise.
Neither
one can hit.
I think they're probably both the same hitting wise, and when it comes to speed, defense,
Bradfield's got.
I think Bradfield's got him beat, and he's younger. And
now,
not
Tavares
that
can hit one out once in a while, but I think he's got just the same amount of swing and miss as Bradfield, though.
Right.
But Bradfield, I feel like, can get on base more, being able to bunt the ball.
Right. I mean, and the thing with Bradfield is he's going to be more disruptive once he gets on base. If Tavares...
Tavares has an outstanding arm. I will say that. It's better than Bradfield's by a long shot. So that,
but Bradfield doesn't have a terrible arm, but
right.
the speed and the defense, and then when he gets on base, it's going to make pitchers have to work double hard.
Oh, it's crazy.
like what he can do. So maybe he's not hitting one out, but you get that guy on first base more often than not, he's ending up on third if there's less than 2 outs
Yeah.
when he gets on. So I think that because of the fact that you have so many guys on your team that are playing 5-6 days a week, Bradfield makes so much sense as a fourth outfielder because you don't need to start him but once every couple of weeks, if that. He like look at how disruptive Gerard Dyson was in the 2014 World Series. Look how disruptive he was. He didn't start a single game. He didn't start a single game.
But here's the question: though, is he's not going to play all the time, and like I see Mark just put it in here, and I agree with it. Like he does need to work on the at bats. So obviously, getting consistent at bats in AAA is much better. But I think he helps the ball club better than Tavares right now, at least defensively, and like you're talking about on the base path. I don't think there's a question that he's the better player, but not playing every day, especially with a young guy like him, how much better is he going to get with the bat sitting so much? So that's where there's the toss up, which he probably. That's why I think June's a good spot. I think you need to hit the nail on the head there.
Yeah, and Bradfield is up with the comment. Bradfield is up with the team in Baltimore. A lot of guys are up with the team.
So
in Baltimore.
what they do now, so these guys look. Norfolk's only 3 hours away, so they're bringing everybody, Norfolk and Baltimore. So and they really don't know their actual roster just yet either. So, but yeah, and after this, they'll just drive back down to Norfolk. So that's kind of normal because they used to bring Norfolk up here and scrimmage anyway every year.
Right. You look at who played today. Barrero, Fabian, Weston Wilson, Bradfield. These guys aren't going to be on the roster, right? And so, but yeah, I think that. And here's the other thing that we need to talk about. And yes, Bradfield needs to prove that he can hit big league pitching. He needs to prove that he can hit AAA pitching. To this point in his minor league career, he's been a productive bat. Doesn't hit a ton of home runs, but he gets his base hits. He gets on base. He steals a ton of bases. He's got a really high on base percentage for his minor league career. He had 15 games at Norfolk coming back from injury. Like, I'm not judging him off of that, Right. But here's the other thing that I look at with him is his ceiling. And I know because he was a first round pick, you expect him to be this. But is his ceiling really anything more than a fourth outfielder or an everyday player on a bad team? Like, what's the guy's ceiling? If his ceiling is fourth outfielder and he can help you now, and again, I don't think I don't think he should be starting the year as the fourth outfielder for the Orioles. I think that, like we've been saying, June is going to be perfect time because I think that they're going to get nothing offensively out of Leody Taveras. I think they're going to get nothing. So we'll see.
Is he better than Joey Rickard?
Oh yeah, I went
offensively.
Who, Bradfield?
Yeah, no. Right now.
Right now, no.
No. Okay.
No. Because Rickard could pop one out.
Yeah.
Rickard, he's a better defender than Rickard. He's faster than Rickard, but Rickard was a better bat. I was at the batting cages up by where I live yesterday, and I saw a guy there wearing a Joey Rickard jersey. Nice. I actually said I got my coins and I'm walking over to the cage and I see the guy's jersey and I actually said out loud, Joey Rickard, really? I didn't know anybody owned one of those jerseys. Man, that what was he, the sensation of 2015 spring training?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Maybe a couple good moments.
Yeah, look, Rickard Rickard was a decent player. Rickard was a solid fourth outfielder option. I think he had poor on base skills though. I think that it was either he was putting the bat on the ball or he was striking out. He wasn't walking, So I look at the Orioles. You look at the rest of. So we know the rotation. It was already set today. It's going to be Rogers on opening day, Bradish, Boz, Bassett, and Eflin. Eflin goes from being your opening day starter in 25 to being and your big trade acquisition in 24 to being your number 5 starter in 26. Oh, by the way, he just shut down the Yankees regulars in over 5 1/3 innings, 7 strikeouts, 1 hit in his last tune-up before the regular season. And he's your number 5.
What's your prediction for team starter ERA in the first half?
In the first half?
First half.
See, I have a lot of confidence in this rotation. I'm going to put it at 365.
Ooh. That's good.
I'm putting it at 365.
That's 15 games over, I think.
Well, look at the schedule. They can start the year legitimately 21-9.
Good,
something
yeah.
something crazy like that because they
Do
play.
you think they sweep the Twins? So let's look at this real quick. They got three with the Twins. Are they sweeping?
Yeah.
Okay. How about with Texas? They got, is it 3 with Texas or 4? 3 with Texas.
So it depends
2?
on. So you're probably taking 2 because you're not facing Evaldi or DeGrom.
Right. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
You know, you're probably taking 2, and then you go to Chicago, and Chicago is better.
We go to the Pirates after that.
Oh, you're going to the Pirates, and the
Yeah,
Pirates.
I don't know who they're getting
and
there, but
you're getting Skeens. You're getting Skeens.
you could lose 2 there. Could.
Well, who else is in their rotation after Skeens?
You got Seth Hernandez, who's pretty freaking good. Let me look it up to make sure here. Pirates pitching rotation. I know I'm forgetting somebody like obvious. Bubba Chandler's really good. Mitch Keller's decent. Braxton Ashcraft is pretty good, and I mean Jose Urquidy. He's okay. Not great, but if you got Mitch Keller and Paul Skeens, I think you probably lose the Skeens game. Keller can go either way. Chandler, I think you could probably beat Chandler because he's still young, but he's really good. Same with Ashcraft. Once they get Jared Jones back, they'll kind of level out a little bit.
Yeah, see, I look at it, I think you sweep Minnesota. I think you take 2 or 3 from Texas because you're not getting. You might get DeGrom or Evaldi in the third game of that series, but you're not getting both of them.
I'm looking at this schedule. I don't know why everybody's saying it starts off easy. It's not easy to me. I mean, because after you get through the White Sox, you get the Giants at home. The Giants are no slouch. The D-backs proved last year they could kick our butt. The Guardians are always going to play you tough, and that's 4, and we never play good in Cleveland whatsoever, ever.
Yeah.
And you got 3 in Kansas City on the road. We never play good in Kansas City. Come home with Boston at 3 and the Astros at 3. Why are people saying this is easy? Because then you come up with the Yankees and Marlins on the road. Marlins are going to be a lot better than people expect. You get the A's and then Yankees and then Nationals and Tampa. I mean, that could be maybe. But then you get Detroit, Tampa, and the Blue Jays. Like, to me, that's pretty hard.
If you're facing San Francisco and Arizona on the road, I see that.
You still gotta play good.
But
they're not going to come over here and roll over.
They're not, but they're also coming to a ballpark that has bigger dimensions than they're used to. Early in the season, they're not hitting in the warmer air out in San Francisco and Arizona. They're hitting in Baltimore in mid-April.
They still have Rafael Devers though. He's used to it.
Yeah, and you've got a legitimate pitching staff. Like you've got a legitimate starting rotation. So then
you're just gonna have to hit.
You're gonna. Exactly, and you've got a lineup that's going to
supposed
hit.
To, yeah.
I was gonna say
you're supposed to hit.
You got a lineup that's supposed to hit. They were supposed to hit last year.
Yep.
I look at Cleveland. You're splitting that series with Cleveland. You're not You're not losing 3 or 4. You're not winning 3 or 4. You're gonna go 2-2, right? Kansas City. Again, it depends on who you're facing in that rotation.
Scrappy, man. They're just scrappy.
They are, and like Gunnar versus Bobby Witt it is awesome.
Well, I will say, you don't have to deal with Jorge Mateo in center field this time with Kansas City, which is great because that lost my mind last year when that happened. Especially made that play or their lack thereof.
That cost him a game with Mateo. Didn't he have like a big 3-run error or something like that in the first inning? That cost him a game. And look, and May your schedule gets harder, right? But I don't think they have any business losing a series to Miami. And the Athletics offense is legit.
Yeah,
like
but at home it's going to help.
Yeah. Then you got the Yankees at home again, and like
if Dean Kremer's starting, I'm okay.
Right. Outside of Stanton and Judge, and I don't mean it in that order. Outside of Judge and Stanton, who in the Yankees lineup really scares you?
Bellinger.
I mean, Bellinger.
He doesn't scare me, but like he's there.
Right. Bellinger's there. Ben Rice is there. Ben Rice had a really nice year last year.
Yeah, Ben Rice is good.
He's a good player, but like, are you scared of
Ben Rice?
Anthony
might be
Volpe?
The second best player on that roster.
He might be. I mean, what he hit like 265 with 25, 26 home runs last year. He had a good year.
His first year. And he was on the bench to start most of the year.
And Stanton had a great spring. I mean,
Yeah.
the guy can't open a bag of chips, but he had a great spring. And last year, he hit 24 home runs in 77 games.
Yeah.
So, but I look at the Yankees, and is Clark Schmidt going to be healthy? I mean,
Question mark.
you know,
Their
Garrett
whole
Cole's,
pitching staff's a question mark.
right? Is Heel going to be healthy? Is
I don't think so.
You know, you've got Fried, you've got Rodon, and like, what's his name? Brian Weathers, is that his name? Or Ryan Weathers?
He's gonna be so good this year.
He's a nasty lefty, and if
Yeah.
you're facing Fried and Weathers in the same series,
Good luck.
good luck. But Rodon
But
has
he can't
been
stay
pretty
healthy
good.
either. So
He can't stay healthy, and he gives up a lot of home runs.
Yeah.
So I mean, Sean Whipple, other than Fried, who in the Yankees rotation currently scares you? I mean,
Weathers.
Weathers is pretty good. Rodon's pretty good. But Clark Schmidt, what's his name? Schlitter, that guy. He's hurt
Just
too.
say what you want to say.
Yeah, Shitter.
Yeah.
That's his name. Don't
Yeah.
FCC. That's his name. I think that their first month schedule is fairly soft. Fairly soft. They play some good teams, but the toughest teams that they play are all at home.
Yeah.
They're all in Baltimore. And
What scares me though is like you know you're getting Skeens because it's their opening day to lead off against us. You know you're getting Skeens, so that one's gonna be tough.
Yeah, they're gonna make it so that he starts the home opener.
Yeah. So I mean,
They might not, man. He's gonna start their first game of the year.
yeah,
And-
but
and
then
then-
it's what 6 games later.
Hang on, let's see.
You might get lucky and miss him, but I don't know. I feel like you should.
One.
They sent Connor Griffin down though, so I don't know. Maybe they really don't care. I don't know.
I don't know. But I mean, like, Pittsburgh on the road, and then that's the thing. They go to Pittsburgh and lose 2 or 3 on the road, like, all the time. I feel like they've done that a few, not all the times. They don't play them all the time, but I feel like they've done
Yeah.
that a few times.
And it's
White
always
Sox-
snowing up there somehow. It's annoying.
Yeah, I Boston's got a sneaky good team.
They got
They're
a sneaky
rota-
good pitching staff. Their offense is.
So they got. That's the thing. Their offense doesn't scare me at all.
Yeah.
I mean,
Brian
when
Abreu's good. You know, Roman Anthony's good. And then
Trevor Story's good.
Story's okay.
I mean, he's
Who's playing third base for him? I don't even remember.
not Alex.
They
Bregman.
traded for him. It was that young guy who hit like 230 last year.
I
forget his name.
And who was Jaron Duran's a good player.
Duran's good. And then Rafaela. Yeah. So
Yeah.
your outfield is good. And then you have like one infielder that's good. I don't know. I don't think they have enough.
So, yeah.
But if they score 5 runs, it's enough.
So who's in their rotation? They've got Garrett Crochet, the legitimate ace, legitimate
Yeah, you
Cy
got
Young
Crochet, you
candidate.
got Ranger Suarez, you got
Sonny Gray.
what's his name? Sonny Gray,
Bri-
and then you got
Brian Bayo.
Bayo, yeah. I was gonna
Yeah.
say Abreu for some reason.
But so
And then I forget the 5th. But
So,
their bullpen's nasty.
the bullpen's really good. But I look at Brian Bayo. I think that he's kind of a head case. I look
Yes.
I look at Sonny Gray. Sonny Gray's not getting younger. You know, Garrett Crochet scares you. Ranger Suarez isn't getting
Oh,
better.
they've got Johan Aviado as their number 3. He was
That's the
traded
guy-
from the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, like,
Interesting.
and
Over
and
Sonny
that's
Gray.
and
No, they
that's
got
the
Gray as
thing.
number 2. They got Ranger as number 4. Interesting.
Ranger pitched to a 5+ ERA this spring. Framber Valdez, on the other hand, I don't think gave up a run this spring. Framber Valdez was excellent this spring, which pisses me off. But I don't know, man. And the other thing is, you're looking at these teams, and yeah, they're
That's
really
what
good.
it is. They got Crawford, Houck, Sandoval that are all hurt, and then you've got Peyton Toll that's not up yet. So their starting rotation is going to be absolutely filthy.
Yeah. So Boston, but you're going to hang with them. You're going to hang with
Yeah.
Boston. You're going to hang with Houston. You know, you play those 6 games and you win 3 of those games. You're going to lose one of those series. Win 3 games. If you go 2
Win
and
the
4,
season series.
yeah,
That's all that matters.
You know, like we talk about these teams, and yeah, they're really good, but like the Orioles are going to be really good too.
Yeah.
That's kind of what we're looking at. So then when we talk about that, how do you see the 2026 AL East standing shaking out?
It's a good question, man. I'm a homer. I'm always going to say the Orioles are going to win it all. That's a good question. I think Toronto got a little bit worse. Now Yosevich is going to start the year in the IL, so they took another little blow.
He is. I didn't hear that.
He's hurt. I think it's like a shoulder impingement, so it might not be long. But yeah, their starting rotation is still pretty good though. But like they've lost some offense, and their bullpen got better. I think their bullpen got better. So I mean, it's easy to pick them because they were just there, but I don't know. It's easy for them to do what the Orioles did and have one good season and then not. So I don't know. I think it's probably safe to pick the Yankees. They're always competitive. So I'll say Yankees win the division. And this is where it gets wild. I think the Orioles finish second by a game over Boston, and Toronto finishes fourth. I don't know why I even say that, though, because like I could see Toronto finishing second, one game ahead of the Orioles.
Toronto's got a really good staff, but they lost Bichette. They weren't able to bring
38 years old too.
Yeah, yes. No, he's 36.
Is he 30? I thought he was 37, turning 38.
He played last year at 35.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. The only reason I know that is I have his numbers right in front of me because I was going to say,
but he's still always hurt.
You're not getting. I mean, he's played 140 plus games 3 years in a row.
But he just plays it hurt.
Yeah. You're not getting a 959 OPS and 32 home runs from George Springer again. It's not gonna. He's gonna get hurt. It's not gonna happen. You lost Bichette. Guerrero could have a big year, but I mean, you look at the rest of Toronto's depth chart, right? And look, their rotation: Dylan Cease, Kevin Gausman, Shane Bieber, Max Scherzer, Trey Savage when he comes back. Jose Barrios is listed 7th on their rotation depth chart. Okay,
that's pretty good.
Their bullpen.
I would put him over Ponce or whatever it was, though. I mean, let's be real.
Yeah. Their bullpen: Jeff Hoffman is a bum. Yimi Garcia, Tyler. They've got a solid bullpen. They've got a solid bullpen. But then you go by position. Vladdy is Vladdy, right? Does Ernie Clement or Davis Schneider scare you at second base?
They're gritty ball players.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I don't know.
They can beat you.
They can.
They're not going to beat you more times than not, but they can beat you.
Right. Third base, I don't even know who Kazuma Okamoto is.
He was a highly touted Japanese hitter.
Right.
All power, basically.
Making his debut in the majors at 30 years old. He'll be 30 in June. Shortstop, Andres Jimenez, very light hitting, although he crushed them in that first series last year. And then in the outfield, Dalton Varsho, Nathan Lukes, Addison Barger. I mean, they're decent
Barger's
players. Barger's good, but like, and Varsho can beat you. But like, their outfield doesn't scare me. So like, I think offensively they've taken a major step back. Their rotation's gonna be good. Their bullpen's gonna be solid. But like last year, they started out really slow, and maybe
I could see any team in this division win the division, and then I could also see any of them finish fourth.
I can't see Tampa Bay being.
I was going to say except Tampa.
Yeah, although
Tampa,
I mean,
look at the Yankees, Red Sox, Orioles, Blue Jays. Any of those four could win the division, and any of those four could finish fourth.
Yeah, and all four of them, no matter where they finish, could still make the playoffs.
Yes.
They could still make the playoffs. For me,
it's going to be a dogfight.
I just think, and I saw something on your show the other night when you had Ben McDonald on, and he was talking about that little scrum where Bassett and Alonso were kind of like taking it to the younger guys on the roster, like, no, this is bullshit. Bassett, like, I want to get back to win a World Series, and we have the team to do it, but we can't be sloppy. And Alonso, like, let's run it back, right?
100%.
And I see the veteran leadership there. I see the strides that Mayo has made. I see the strides that Basayo has made. I see this rotation. And I think that the Orioles know more about what's going to be in their bullpen than we do. And I know that they know more. Like, I think it's odd that they haven't added to this bullpen, which tells me that they see something in some dudes that are going to be in there that they're not worried at all.
Yeah.
You know? Or it could be like what they did with the rotation last year, where they just picked a bunch of guys and said, hey, let's hope. So I think that the Orioles are building something special this year. And I think that they have more talent. I know they have more talent in their lineup and in their rotation than the team that won 101 games in 2023. I've got the Orioles winning 93 games and winning the division this year. I've got
Could see it.
I've got Boston finishing second because I think they have the best rotation in baseball. Maybe not in baseball, but in the American League East. And I think that like what they're lacking in offense, I think they're going to stay in a lot of games because of their rotation and win a lot of games. You know,
as long as Chapman doesn't fall apart either, I think the bullpen's locked down too.
Yeah, and so then I look at it and it's like a toss up between Boston and not Boston, Toronto and New York, who's going to finish third and fourth, and I'm going to put the Yankees third. And when I say this, if I got the Orioles winning 93 games and winning the AL East. You know,
I could see Yankees still winning 90.
I've got Boston wins 91, Yankees win 90, Toronto wins 89. Like 4 games separate first and fourth place. Like that's not going to surprise me because you play each other a lot, but like you play a lot of this. You play every other team in baseball too. Like there's a ton of winnable games for every team.
Yeah.
I look at the Yankees and I just see a lot of age on their roster.
Yeah.
But then I also see Aaron Judge in the middle of that order, and Aaron Judge is better
than
37
this year. Can you believe that?
No, man, he's 33.
No.
Aaron Judge
is 33. Okay. Yeah. 34. I meant to say 34. My bad.
Yeah.
But like it just doesn't seem that old.
He's entering his 10th season.
Yeah, it's crazy.
His 10th season. His 10th full season because he debuted at the end of 2016.
Yeah.
But if Judge gets hurt for any period of time, they're in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, they're done.
And they've got Trent Grisham playing center field for them. They've got Jazz Chisholm. Like these are bad hitters who hit a lot of home runs, in my opinion. But they're the Yankees, and somehow they are always there. They're always there. So I'm going to take them third. I've got Toronto in fourth place, and I've got all 4 teams making the playoffs this year. I think all 4 teams make the playoffs this year. All 3 wild cards come out of the AL East. You're getting Detroit out of the AL Central, and you're getting Seattle out of the AL West. Mm-hmm. Houston is going to be good. Texas is going to be okay. I would be
shocked if somehow Texas takes it.
Texas has...
You got DeGrom coming back. You got Eovaldi coming back.
Yeah.
You still got Seager.
Yeah. And you got Jace Young. Is it Jace Young or Josh? It's Jace Young, right?
Yeah.
Because there's a Josh Young.
Yeah, Evan Carter coming back too.
Yeah. So I get it, but
I think that one's a toss up.
But Seattle's the class of that division. They're starting rotation. Cal Raleigh, Josh Naylor in the middle of their lineup.
Yeah.
How did I mention Josh Naylor before I mentioned Julio Rodriguez? Because
Rodriguez, I think it's fair.
Rodriguez doesn't get going until July, August anyway. You know, I just don't think that there's any team. Seattle could compete with any team in the American League East.
Jason said Jazz said he's doing a 30-30 season. What's that, being cut by 30 days or what?
Oh my gosh!
Come on, Jazz. Come on, man. You could probably hit 30 home runs, but let's be real. You're hitting 19 home runs in a real ballpark.
Right.
Ugh.
So, I got the Orioles winning the division. I just feel like there's something special brewing. I really like the back end of the rotation. I think their lineup is better than any lineup in the American League East. I just do.
Yeah.
And when you add that veteran leadership of Bassett and Alonso, I think that Alvarez is a game-changing manager. And Donnie Eckert being part of this coaching staff, I think is huge for this.
Donnie's a big deal
for this ball club. Just the depth alone. They lost Westberg, Holiday, and Beavers, and they're replacing them with Mayo, Blaze Alexander, which and Tyler O'Neill. Like you're not really missing a step here. So I just think that this team is really really deep this year, and I think that if if they're not in first place at the deadline, they're going to make a move that puts them over the hump. I just really believe that that's going to happen. So today's show brought to you by County Sports. And if you missed any of high school basketball championship weekend, find out about it now at County Sports Zone. And remember that all year you can find score schedules and updates for every sport and every school all throughout the state at countysports.zone. Today's show also brought to you by Live Casino. It's time to start thinking about your plans for March Mania, which has already started. There's no better place to watch a tournament than Inside Sports and Social Live Casino and Hotel. With great giveaways, a 100-foot media wall, and incredible food and drink specials, book your table today. Somebody
apparently
said
Jazz said 50-50.
Oh, that is what he said. He said 50-50. There is not a chance in hell.
Jazz, I could still hit a 100-mile-an-hour fastball if you hit 50 home runs, and I can't. So sorry.
Oh man, he said he did. He said 50-50.
Oh my goodness, Jazz.
So 30-30 is definitely attainable for Jazz.
But he also came out and said, like, oh, Great Britain's going to shock the world. Yeah, bud. Yeah, you did real great. Did real great with Great Britain.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Rick Arnold, I got Gunnar with a 30-40 season. I got Gunnar going 40-40 this year.
That could be cool.
I got Gunnar going 40-40. I think he's going to be an MVP finalist. Like
Would you rather have Gunnar do 40-40 and hit 260, or would you rather have Gunnar hitting 280 with 30-40?
280 with 30-40. Because if he hits 280 with 30-40, he's driving 120.
Yeah.
In this lineup. If he hits 260 40-40, he maybe he drives
probably
a 90 to 100.
maybe 100. Maybe.
Yeah. If Gunner's hitting 280 and is still stealing 40 bags and putting up 30 home runs, he's still an MVP finalist, and he's driving in a ton of runs. A ton of runs. Let me see. Oh, we talked about this pre-show, but didn't get into it. Park changes look nice. I'm going to see if I can get to Baltimore this summer for a game. I'm going to my 19th straight opening day this year. Really looking forward to it. The sound system sounded beautiful. I heard them singing the national anthem on it earlier today, and that was amazing. The scoreboard looks like it's going to be amazing. The pavilion underneath, the bar and pavilion underneath the scoreboard, is that open to the public?
I would think so. Is that I didn't know. Is it like standing room, or is that like you got to buy like a special like bar ticket or what? I
don't know, because they
didn't really talk about it.
The rooftop bar, I think that maybe they're just assuming that everybody's assuming that it's just like the rooftop, the Coors rooftop bar deck or whatever it's called, because you have to have tickets to sit in those seats on the rooftop bar, but anybody can go up to that bar. They close it off when they're at capacity, right? Okay. And I think it's going to be the same thing, because also what I saw today, it looks like that pavilion in the bleachers in center field under the scoreboard leads to the seats in center field as well.
Yeah.
So I
wasn't sure if like that was a place where you can go like play some bets and stuff too.
I think that's going to be in the warehouse.
Okay.
Oh, you know what? You're probably right, because it is with their
like some kiosks and stuff like that.
It's with their gambling partner.
Yeah.
It's with their gambling partner. So you could be right. They also have cool. They have a new bar that I think the bar was blocked off today. I don't think it's quite ready.
I think they said like mid-year or something that's going to be ready. But the way that it sounded, it was going to be like a horseshoe, where it's kind of going to like do both on Utah Street and inside the standing area.
Okay, I can see that.
Before it was like sense. just the standing area, and then they had like their little like I don't know what you want to call it, those little stands or whatever. But now it sounds like it's going to be like a horseshoe, where it's kind of like wrap around. It's
actually going to make it difficult though for fans to get to some home run balls up there, because you're not going to let the fans behind the bar. No. You know. So
no. Well, there's also going to be a million people online too. They're going to get rocked in the head. Oh God! They might think this through,
right? They also have the how like at Raven Stadium, the entire ribbon around the stadium, around the club level, has like the videos and all that. They have that now at Camden Yards, which is awesome, because they have that. They took out the first row of seats in the lower seating bowl, so it's like double the width when you're walking in the grand as that it was before. So now there's way more space, so you're not getting caught up. And then they have the Truist bar, which is like where the press box used to be, and that's like for the elitists. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That's for like.
I wouldn't even say it's elitist. I bet you tickets are like $200, $300. Like, yeah, that's a lot, but like some people pay that for club level.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, if I had, I don't know.
And think about it, you get
to,
all you can eat food, so it's kind of worth it because I mean, it's all you can eat drink too.
I don't know about all that.
But either way, so even if you're just doing all you can eat food, if it's $250, like you're probably already spending $50, $60 eating the same amount of food if you were outside. So take that away. Just $200 ticket for really good seats with a lot of TVs in there and stuff like that. Like that might be really cool.
VT Raven, if it can be rented out. If it's not, anyone can be there. Are you talking about the scoreboard pavilion?
I think they wanted it to be a lot like the Nationals. Have you ever sat in that little
No.
section they have?
I've only been there one time, and we had seats.
Dude, it's nice. It's literally the same thing. It's all you can eat. I think they had like steak skewers. They had like shrimp, pizza, hot dogs. They had sushi. They had a bunch of higher end food that you normally don't get. Bang bang shrimp too. But you could walk out and then like your seat and stuff. You could order right on the app and they bring it out to you. Go back in, get all the popcorn you wanted, ice cream, whatever you wanted. Those tickets were like $175, $200 a piece, I think. But I feel like it was worth it. Now we want them for free, obviously, but if they do that same kind of thing, I think it's a fairly good deal. Like think about it. You go to a bachelor party, right? You go with a bunch of boys, and you go and you get a group of you, and it's like we'll say like 10 of you, right? You put down $2,000 and buy 10 tickets in there. You go in there, you're having a great time. You're eating a ton of food, right? And when you're eating a ton of food on a bachelor party, you're going to be drinking a whole lot too, right? It's a win-win for the Orioles and for you because it's great seats. It's a great little atmosphere to hang out with your buddies, and the Orioles are making a ton of money off you drinking. It's a win-win.
Honestly, it might be something. So like a prime example, my wife and I, we met over our love for baseball. We got engaged in a skybox at Camden Yards. The same day that Rio Ruiz hit the walk-off homer against the Astros for the Orioles' only walk-off that year.
Yeah.
We got engaged with our entire family there. So like, I can see myself paying for something like that. For our 5th anniversary is this year, and I can see myself paying for something like that for like our 5th anniversary.
Yeah, for sure.
And maybe doing it once a year. It's not something that I'm going to be a regular at. It's like a special occasion. It's a special occasion type of thing. But look, a lot of really cool upgrades, and that's only part of them. They're not done. They're going to be doing upgrades next year or two after this too. I still think they need an open concourse, but I know they got brand new TVs all throughout the concessions areas, and like hundreds of them with like crystal clear HD definition. I'm excited for that because
they're not the 32-inch anymore.
Oh my gosh, man! I couldn't stand standing there with the poor sound system, looking up, trying to see. Jesus, the Dodgers are up on the Angels 10-1 in the 3rd inning.
Nice. You know what I miss, and I can't remember what year the Ravens did this, but when you would go to the bathroom, the radio was on in the bathroom, so you could hear and cheer. The Orioles, I feel like, never did that. Am I feeling stupid about that? Like, am I wrong here?
No, you go in the bathroom.
Like at least the last couple years, there's no radio in the bathroom.
You go into the bathroom, you don't hear anything. You're absolutely right.
As long as those lines are, they need to fix that, I think.
Yeah, they absolutely. Maybe they did. For all we know. This is something that our buddy Sean said. Charm City Entertainment. I think Mark DeRosa keeping Gunnar on the bench and Bryce Harper saying Gunnar is good but not elite is going to light a fire under Gunnar this year. When did Bryce Harper say that? I never heard that.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
I know that Bryce Harper's made the comment about the WBC not being the Olympics, but I'm not sure that Harper said that, because why would you say that about anybody?
Yeah, I don't know.
That doesn't make any sense.
It's weird.
See. Yeah,
either way, I mean, look, could you say he's not elite over Witt? Sure, but is he elite over Bregman? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. And here's the other thing. Gunnar, fewest errors in all baseball at shortstop last year. Highest fielding percentage in all baseball at shortstop last year. Stole 30 bases. Is Witt that much better? He's better.
Probably.
He's better. He gets 200 hits a season. He's certainly faster. He's like the fastest guy in baseball. But if Witt's 1A, Gunnar's 1A. You know what I mean? Like I don't think that Witt is so glaringly better than Gunnar. And Witt struggled that tournament. I get it. You're not going to take Witt out of the lineup, just like you're not going to take Judge out of the lineup or Harper. But I wouldn't have minded seeing Gunnar get a start at shortstop in the knockout round or something, but certainly he should have been playing every game over Bregman.
Yeah.
Today's show has also been brought to you by Leading Edge Auto Body. Your car is more than just a ride, it's an investment. At Leading Edge Auto Body in Mount Washington, customer satisfaction comes first. Their team holds the highest honors in the industry, including ASE Master, iCar Platinum, and specialized aluminum certifications, and they make it easy with free towing, pickup, and delivery. Find out more at leadingedgeautobody.com. Right, just before we get out of here, man, we're about to hit 2 hours, which is easy to do on the
I didn't realize.
day show.
I had no idea.
You look at this Orioles roster. Who leads the team in home runs this year?
I posted that the other day with a poll, and everybody pretty much picked Pete. And it's hard to argue Pete, so I'll probably go with Pete too. But if Pete hits like 38 and Gunnar hits like 36 and Taylor hits 31, I think we're in a really damn good spot.
I picked Gunnar because I think Gunnar's going over 40, and I think Pete's going to hit like 38. I think Gunnar's going to hit like 42.
Still in a really good spot.
Yeah, really good spot. Who is at the end of the season? Who's like your breakout player?
Breakout player, Shane Baz.
Ooh, I like that. For me, it's Kobe Mayo. What I saw with his bat this spring and the at bats that he took, I thought it was special. I think that he's going to have I think he's, when I say breakout, I don't think it's going to be his best year of all time, but I think that you could see him hit 260 with 25 home runs, and that's a pretty nice breakout season for me. Ace of the staff, is it Rogers? Is it Bradish? Or is it Baz?
Bradish.
I agree. Yeah. Biggest regression.
That's a tough one. Mm-hmm. That's a really tough one. Because you don't want anybody to regress.
Right.
I'm going to have to say maybe Chris Bassett.
I can see that. Another year older, 3.90 something ERA last year. Maybe he drops to like a 4.25 this year. I can see that. For me,
which I think is still okay. If he finished the year as a number 5 and him and Eflin flip-flopped in June, I don't see a problem with that.
See, for me, I picked Taylor Ward, and the reason I picked Taylor Ward is because he had 36 home runs last year in L.A. playing for the Angels. Bigger ballpark in left field. I think maybe the average goes up a little bit, but I think you see closer to the 20 to 25 home runs rather than the 36 that he hit.
That's still fine too. But
that is. I
will say too that some of the AL East ballparks are very tiny in right or left field, so maybe he hits better on the road with the power numbers. I don't know.
And maybe it's more like 25 to 30, but I don't think he's going to get to 36. Hopefully that average. Is tough. Hopefully that batting average comes up again. But he's going to have. He had nobody protecting him last year. It was like it was Joe Adell and the ghost of Mike Trout. You know what I mean? He's got a lot more protection this year. But I also could see Trevor Rogers, because if Trevor Rogers pitches to a 3.5 ERA, that's still a 2-run regression. It's
considered regression, yeah.
What do you think their final record is?
Man, I don't know. What is it? 90? How many losses with 93 wins?
69.
I think that's fair. I think 93 and 69.
That's my guess too.
I'm not gonna say anything. It's gonna make a crude joke. I probably shouldn't.
No, it's a perfectly nice win-loss record. Perfectly nice win-loss record. I got them going 93 and 69 also, but you have them I think finishing second or third in the division. I got them. I got them winning the division, and I got them as the 1 seed in the American League with 93 wins.
I could see yes, I could see somebody in the AL East is going to have the number 1 seed. I think,
dude. But don't sleep on Detroit, man. With Skubal and Fromber,
I'm saying don't sleep on Kansas City.
Something happens with them. Where they fall off every year.
I think they finally go and acquire the bat that they need finally.
At the deadline, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, Pasquantino is good. He's not great.
Yeah.
And you've got.
They need one more bat.
They need somebody to protect Witt. And
Yeah.
we're talking about a guy who still hits 300 with 200 hits every year in Bobby Witt, but they need somebody else in that order. But Detroit, man, Verlander's pitched like a dog this spring. And he pitched really well his last 15 starts. Like, are you really putting it past Verlander to win 15 games with a 3.30 ERA this year? Like, he's
I mean, it
pitched,
could.
he shut down the Orioles the other day. Like, he shut them down the other day. So, all right, man. Anything else you want to get out there before? Oh, let's see. Some people are giving. We don't want to ignore anybody here.
I just want to throw out Orioles thank you became a member. I appreciate that. I don't know if you're still around or not, but it's highly appreciated. I see Laura said make sure you like on the way out. So if you haven't liked the stream on either side yet, please go ahead and like that. It's still on Facebook. Please like that as well. Yeah, I mean, it just helps the algorithm push this out for us. Bring in new fans, give us more people to chat with, gives more people for you to chat with in the comment section too.
Absolutely, 100% appreciate you guys getting it out there, and Zach for you being so proactive and getting it out there. Because for me, like I just think about coming on and talking about baseball, and like it doesn't occur to me like, hey, by the way, like, follow, and share. So please do that. Let's see. Orioles bird watcher Basayo becomes the first to hit the warehouse on the fly on a real game market, dude. Did you read that article or see that video about why it's so hard to hit the warehouse in Baltimore? Yeah. Like, because one, the field level is like 30 feet below the level that the warehouse is on. The way the wind swirls in the stadium, you have to hit it perfect launch angle with like the perfect humidity, perfect temperature, and still hit it like 465 feet.
I don't disagree with him though. If there's gonna be a guy that's gonna do it, it's probably him.
See, I always said that about Gunnar, and I said that about I think Kowser could do it. I always thought Chris Davis was going to
definitely do it too. Yeah.
Kowser's got crazy power, but like
he does.
That one spring, he hit 479-foot home run to dead center field.
Right.
Like Kowser's got crazy power.
Okay.
Let's see.
Right. Come on up. Somebody's getting bored. Ouch! Oh God! Oh, claw just went right through my chest.
Dogs are the best, man. Wayman says my breakout dark horse is Yarmil Geraldo. That changeup is nasty.
Yeah, it is.
I don't even think we had him in our opening day.
He's gonna pitch at some point this year, but I don't know if he makes opening day.
Let's see. Holiday bats close to 300 this year. He should, right? Like
should. We wanted that last year, but
it's his. Like I expected him to hit 270, 270. He hit 242 last year. Like,
yeah,
being the number one overall pick now, entering your third season in the majors, second full, but third season in the majors, you should be hitting better than 242 at this point. I need to see it because he was in great shape last year. Talking about the shape he's in this year, I need to see it, man.
Yep.
He was asked. Sean said he was asked why Bregman was starting over Gunnar and said that Bregman is elite. Gunnar is very good. Well, that's not true. I don't remember that. I didn't see it. Let's see. Normatic Bryan says 91 and 71. Rick Arnold says 92 and 70. I
Orioles birdwatcher. Mancelino regresses in Atlanta. That's funny.
Gonna be tough to have the best record and 4 teams in from one division. See, maybe if it's back when they were playing 19 times against each team. It's 13 games against each team. That's a third of your season. You still got 2/3 of your season left, and you play some bad teams. I mean, the Orioles play the way they start the year. They could be 21 and 9 by the end of April. Like it's not out of the realm of possibility. If Pete has somebody protecting him, he could hit 40, but I'll take it over 35 and be happy. I think if you have anybody hitting over 30 home runs, you're happy, in my opinion. Let's see.
I think when I pulled it, only like four lefties in the last, I forget how many years, had hit over 30 home runs. I mean, left fielders hit over 30, and they were Ward and O'Neill. And they were 2 of the 4 or something like that. So it doesn't happen often that your left fielder hits 30. So if we can get that again, it'd be great.
Yeah, there were only 4 right-handed guys who hit over 30 home runs and drove in over 100 last year, and we got 2 of them. Yeah. Normatic Bryan, I can't do a regression guy. I don't want to be right. I totally feel that. I don't want to be right about anybody regressing.
I'm in the Discord, and Sean Whipple just posted from MLB Trade Rumors. Orioles made Gunnar Henderson an extension offer last spring. You're just now putting that out there? Like,
Right.
That's been out for a while, dude. People have known that. Oh, God. I love these guys.
Manzolino regression. You already said that, but I want to put it up there for people who didn't see it. That is, God, Tony Manzolino. They rescued me. Let's see. Oriole Birdwatcher, even with less division games, I can see one, but not both. 4 teams in the low 90s and a team like Seattle get. See, but the AL West isn't bad enough for Seattle to go out there and win 95 games. Houston's going to be good. Texas is going to be good. But then again, Seattle might be better than
Athletics can hit a lot.
We saw
and
that.
Seattle doesn't
firsthand.
play the greatest outside of Seattle.
And look, Oakland. Wow, the Athletics are playing in Sacramento.
Come on,
that's a small ballpark. I thought Luke Scott would do it. Luke Scott hit some big home runs. He hit a lot of home runs for this team.
He hit them high.
Yeah, they were like high shots that like landed on the flag court. They weren't like I'd be surprised.
has that line drive that just keeps going up.
Mm-hmm.
He gets a lot of backspin.
like a perfect golf shot. Gunnar has that too. I mean, Gunnar hit that one home run to right center that was 462 feet a couple of years ago. If Gunnar pulled that ball, it's halfway up the warehouse.
Mm-hmm.
Like no doubt. Like, man,
well, same with the one that Cowser hit 470 something.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I don't.
Cowser couldn't hit many home runs pulling the ball though, so it's nice to see him hit one today. The way he pulled it.
And that was a bomb too.
Because he's a center field type swing.
Yeah, like 419 feet felt short to me for where that ball landed.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. I don't think anybody is ever going to hit the warehouse in the game. I don't think it's ever going to happen because this stadium has been here since 1992. We're entering the 35th season of baseball at Oriole Park and Camden Yards, and nobody's done it. Nobody's done it. I don't think it's ever going to happen. I would love to be proven wrong, but the conditions and the way that you hit the ball has to be so perfect that I just don't see it happening. I think that they
crazier things have happened in baseball though, so you never know.
I think that they said that those things I just said have only happened in Camden Yards 5 times since the stadium opened, but that they weren't hit to the right part of the ballpark.
Wow.
Like it's like the contact, the weather, the wind, all that stuff has to be exactly just so, and it's only happened like 5 times in the history of Camden Yards, and not to right field. So like it's a lot harder than people think. It feels like it should be easy, and I'm sure it happens all the time in batting practice. I don't think it's going to happen in a game. I just don't.
Yeah.
So,
that's crazy.
That home run Basayo hit last year, dead center in spring training, that landed in the backfields was a bomb. These guys have died, and like, look, we've seen dudes hit 500-foot home runs. These guys can hit the ball further than just about anybody in the history of the game. It's just, how often are you doing that to the point where it's in Camden Yards and just right? I just think it's never going to happen. Anything else you want to get out there before we get out of here tonight, man?
Nope.
All right.
Appreciate
guys,
every single one of you guys coming in, though.
Yeah, guys. Opening day, 4 days from today. I'll be there. You going to be there, Zach?
I will be there. My wife and I are going.
I'll be there. My wife and I are going. We'll have to meet up and grab a beer. Well, I'm not drinking right now, but we'll have to meet up for sure. So I'll be there. Zach's be there. Hope you guys are there to see everything new. Start of a beautiful season here in Baltimore. I think something special is about to happen. Super excited. Thank you to all of our sponsors. Without you, we don't have a show. Thank you to all of our loyal listeners, viewers, subscribers, guests. Without you, we 100%